And here we go. Braylon, that was filling in for Ryan Armani. Ryan worked so hard at both jobs that, you know what, we gave him a day off to be with the family for the Christmas holiday. So, Ryan, we miss you, buddy. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holiday. Maz, Stick joining me.
Yes, sir.
As a result, Stick, we always have a good time, don't we?
I love doing shows with you.
Always have
Honestly.
a great time. In fact, I'm actually just going to sit back, man. I'm going to let you do your thing.
Awesome. Well, we got an awesome show planned today. Tom Masway did his thing and got a great guest, and Marcus
Shout
and
out to the
Micah
big guy on
Pollard
the
that are
couch.
going to hop on. Obviously, Marcus Pollard used to play with Jim Harbaugh, and now his son's going to go play for Jim Harbaugh, so that's going to be a great conversation coming up later. Beer Man's going to join us, so
Chris Prince.
make you a little extra money for the holidays here.
It's that time of year.
He's red hot.
He always hot.
He loves Thursdays.
He stays hot.
Tennessee and the Niners tonight. Titans-Niners. That's going to be a great game.
Yeah, we're going to cover that, but let's start out the show with, some local stuff. And, Panay Sewell had a great season, did everything we asked of him. If you see the Pro Football Focus numbers that come out weekly, it's like every week he's the top right or left tackle, no matter what positions he's playing. But he did not make the Pro Bowl roster this year. 7 other rookies did, though. Do you think that Panay Sewell
Micah
got snubbed?
Parsons did.
I love Parsons, man.
Hold on, how many minutes are we into this show? 1 minute 45 seconds. There we always got a Mike Parsons / Panay Sewell diss. Would you knock it off, big guy?
All right.
Yeah, Panay, it's one of those things where you look at it and you observe it. Did he get snubbed? I don't think so. Did he have a good year? Could he have been on it? Possibly. But it's tough. Maz and I have talked about this just before the show started. It's tough to make left tackle, right tackle in the NFC. NFC is where you truly get the goons at. When you look at Tyron Smith has been the best left tackle in football for about the last 7 years.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to beat over him. Even though he missed some games early on the year, you're not going to beat over him, especially when the Dallas Cowboys are number 2 seed in the NFL. You look at Tristan Wirfs, guy drafted last year by the Buccaneers, had an amazing year last year. They go to the Super Bowl. He keeps guys off of Tom Brady's butt, and he was doing it for the most part this year as well.
Right.
It's tough because Panay started left tackle and he played some right tackle and he's been bouncing back and forth. Like, he's graded extremely well in the past 5 weeks, but that lead up to it, it's a club. Like that Pro Bowl, Maz, am I lying? The Pro Bowl is
it's
a club.
a popularity contest as well.
It's like going to the club with your homeboy who's a celebrity or the bad chick, and somebody sees you, whether it's the VIP manager and whether it's someone running bottle service, and now the next time you go to the club without that person,
come on in.
They recognize you, they see you, you always get in, especially as you're doing good, and that's going to be Tyron Smith and Tristan Wirfs.
Lions got some alternates though.
Yeah.
I can tell you about T.J. Hawkinson, Jonah Jackson, Jason Kabinda scored last week.
Attaboy Kabinda.
Jalen Reeves-Maben, all selected as Pro Bowl alternates.
Nice.
So they'll probably get in the game because most of these guys bail. Let's face it.
Well, and to me, sometimes the Pro Bowl is what you did the year before even. You know, sometimes you need to have a big year, then you'll make the Pro Bowl the next year. You're not always going to pay off for that specific season because, sometimes they're voting for this stuff. Obviously, the season's not over, and they're already voting for the Pro Bowl. So a lot of it, like you said, the left guard or the left tackle for the Cowboys, you got to beat the king and take on the king. He's going to be the perennial Pro Bowler at that position until somebody proves they're much better, heads and tails better than him, and I don't think that's going to happen. So Panay Sewell had it rough. But what do you think about Rashawn Slater? Because that's somebody Adam from the morning show was really high on us drafting. He made the Pro Bowl. Panay Sewell didn't.
Yeah, Rashawn Slater had a really good year as a rookie out there in L.A. Also, you look at who's the starter in the AFC at quarterback.
Yeah,
it's Justin Herbert.
Pretty good quarterback.
Which means
that's his guy.
Which means you have more eyes on Rashawn Slater the whole year, and he played well. And this isn't a slight to anyone else in the AFC. Rashawn played well. He kept guys off Justin Herbert, and a lot of those issues they had. Eckler was hurt early on in the year. Herbert went into a slump, started making some bad decisions. Rashawn Slater did his job all year, and he deservedly so is on that Pro Bowl team.
Eckler's out again, by the way, this week.
Shocking.
We'll talk about it later. How many COVID casualties there are for this week. If you're playing your fantasy Super Bowl, which I am, luckily, you're in trouble if you have any of these guys. There's a lot of big names out there not playing this week.
Yeah, you're looking at the list on your screen right now if you're watching, and if you're listening on the radio, on the screen right now, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Delvin Cook, Austin Eckler, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Lamar Jackson, DeAndre Hopkins, Brandon Cooks, Darren Waller, and DeAndre Swift. That's the Pro Bowl right there.
I was just about to say, if you just start naming those, and and I didn't hear the first part of the conversation, I'm like, oh, these are the guys that made the Pro Bowl, or these are the guys that have made the Pro Bowl the last 4 or 5 years. It's COVID protocol, man. It's a tough situation. We talked about it yesterday, man. It seems like they're getting a better fix on how to handle it and how to move forward, but it's still not there yet, and you're still seeing the result.
Welcome to Week 16 in the NFL. Who would know, right? And then this is going to bleed over, and we'll talk about it later, to the college football playoffs.
You think so?
Oh, for sure.
I don't want to switch sports right now, but it's happening in all sports right now. Because you look at, I was looking at players. I was still here yesterday, kind of hung out a little bit, talked to the big guy, Chad. We actually had a fun conversation in the room with you two guys and a couple other guys here. I'm watching, and you see that Joe Johnson signed a 10-day contract. Joe Johnson has not played basketball in the last 3 years in the NBA. He played in the Big Three 2 years ago. NBA hasn't played.
I thought he was with the Big Three.
The Big Three, but he didn't even play in the Big Three last year. So you're technically 2 years out of that, 3 years out of the NBA. Lance Stevenson. There's a Lance Stevenson sighting in the NBA.
That's the guy that blew in
LeBron's ear.
LeBron's ear.
The infamous.
Yeah.
He's playing. So basically the NBA, they've got so many guys in the protocol where it's like, hey, are you still in shape? Can you still dribble?
Can you dribble? Right.
I might have to put my sneaks on for a 10-day contract.
How much are those contracts worth?
So a minimum?
Yeah, 10-day.
It still goes by age. So like a guy like Joe Johnson is a veteran. A guy like Lance Stevenson that has 10 years in. Those guys are NBA veterans. So their 10-day contract would be more than somebody that was 4 or 5 years. Isaiah Thomas is back in the league. And he had not our Isaiah Thomas, but Isaiah Thomas from the Celtics. Yeah. He had actually a good game. He had 19 points. He had a couple assists as well. So they're going back to the bench because the NBA is not like the NFL where there's 61 players or 63 players. They only have 12. Right. So when you're losing 7 guys off a squad, you're going to have to go to wherever you can go to get games played.
Yeah, the vet minimum salary in the NBA is $2 to $2.5 million. So you think Joe Johnson's sitting around like, hey, I could use an extra $2.5 million to suit up for a couple games?
Jeez.
It's a percentage of that for a 10-day contract though. So it's like it's 2 to 3, but then it's a percentage, and then if they make if they actually make it, then that's guaranteed. So if they make it after that 10th day, that $2 million is guaranteed whether they
probably
don't play
$100,000 at least.
Oh, yeah.
10 days.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Just to put on a uniform. Yep. Must be nice.
To do something you love. So.
Braylon, suit up, man. I saw your tweet like, hey, man, I'm finding a court and I'm going to get it back out there.
I got some sneaks in the garage, man. I got to pull them out.
Did you play basketball?
I did. I played basketball my sophomore year at King. Okay. And then I played basketball my senior year at Gallagher. I played 10 games, had good stats, but me and the coach, we didn't see eye to eye.
Did you get any college love for that? Did anybody recruit you to play basketball at all?
Nah, because I didn't play after my sophomore year, and then by the time my senior year, I'd already committed to Michigan. The period was over. I committed and signed the dotted line by the time basketball season started.
Okay. I'm surprised Michigan wasn't like, hey, you want to play some basketball for us too?
I could have played for that Michigan team.
Yeah.
They were okay. They underachieved. Let's say that Chris Hunter, you had Courtney Sims, Daniel Hunter, you had Redford, Deion Harris out of Redford. So they underachieved. Graham Brown and stuff. So they
Seawright was on that squad for a little bit, half a year.
Seawright, the infamous Seawright story is a funny one.
Love that guy. Yeah. So tonight, Thursday Night Football, 49ers versus Titans. This is my kind of football game. I like the way both these teams play, and to me, football's a lot like boxing. Styles make the matchup, and these both teams love to hit. They love physical football. George Kittle's one of my favorite to watch play. Who do you got tonight? What are you thinking about this game?
I think I'm going to take the 49ers, even though they're not at home. You look at the 49ers, the last 6 games, they're 5-1. They play well. They play strong. They play good ball. They play physical. Jimmy Garoppolo has the second highest QBR in the last 7 weeks. If you just count the last 7 weeks, he's right there at the tip of the iceberg. Hasn't turned the ball over and has played as well as they need to. The running game has been sound for them, and they've had Nick Bosa creating havoc out there on defense. And look at the wins. They beat the Vikings, and we know, man, as we talk about the Vikings, their record doesn't portray how good they are. A lot of injuries and
7 losses by 7 or less.
Exactly. A lot of inconsistencies this year. A lot of injuries, but they still were a really good team. They beat the Rams, you know what I'm saying? They also turned around. They beat the Bengals, who we're talking about could be a team that could cause some problems in that playoff. So I just look at them and what they've done in the last 6 weeks, and it seems like they're finding their stride. They're a very scrappy team. Right. They are the NFC version, if you bear with me, of the Indianapolis Colts. They're the NFC's version of the Indianapolis Colts.
Especially when they have Deebo Samuel.
Oh,
to me,
man.
that guy makes all the difference in their offense.
His name is Deebo
Right.
for a reason. He
Isn't that
plays
awesome?
strong. He plays physical. He plays aggressive. He plays mad. Like Deebo Samuel is a great name for him.
Yeah, and he plays everywhere. You can put him at running back. You can put him in the slot. You can put him out wide. You could have him as a DB. Like, I feel like Deebo Samuel is one of those athletes that, you know, when you're playing
He plays
Little
in the
League.
backfield at
Yeah,
times.
when you're
direct
playing Little
snaps.
League, there's that one kid that's just better than everybody.
Yeah,
That's
it's-
Deebo Samuel in the NFL.
They're missing
100%.
Elijah Mitchell, though. He's down again with a concussion. That kid is a hell of a running back. They'll get, what's his name again? Jeff Wilson. Thank you, Alex. Jeff Wilson will run that ball tonight for the Niners. And, of course, the Titans, their whole team. Derrick Henry was their whole team.
Yeah.
But they get Julio Jones back tonight. He played a little last week. I think Julio Jones has a big game tonight.
Well, I hope he has a big game because that's all they'll have. I don't think A.J. Brown is going to play. And if he does play, he won't be the Pro Bowl player that he has been for the previous 2 years. Ryan Tannehill is going to need him. They're going to be able to have to help Harold Landry as well as Clemens out. They're doing an outstanding, phenomenal job on defense. That is Harold Landry. That is Clemens. They're the reason why the Titans are still around. They're the reason why they're still afloat. But the inconsistency over the past 6 weeks is why I can't go with the Titans. And I've been high on the Titans all year. You look at the last 6 weeks, they're 3-3. They lost to, you turn around, they lost to the Houston Texans. Let's just start there.
That knocked me out of my pool.
They lost to the Houston Texans, man. And they lost to the Steelers, who have been inconsistent all year. So they're just a team that you can't trust. Like, hell, I'm picking the 49ers, but watch the Titans somehow get the job done.
Yeah, I like the 49ers tonight, even though, like I said, they're both hard-hitting teams, so I expect a good physical football game, and that's what I want to see
NFL
tonight.
Network only tonight. This is the last Thursday night game of the year. You get the great Kevin Burkhardt on the call tonight. My favorite.
The reason I
really
paid
good.
$9 extra a month for cable, just
You
the
got it,
NFL
baby.
Network, baby. That
Can't
and,
be without it.
and the
He's
red
really
zone.
good. Yeah.
Well, big game coming up between the Lions and the Falcons this weekend too, and we're going to
Who's
talk
QB?
about that. That's the big question right now. Who's going to be the QB? And we'll talk about that next right here on the bottom line.
warm
My
this
name
arm
is
up.
Stick, filling in for Ryan Ermani.
Braylon Edwards, man. This is Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Hey, gang, it's Maz from MyBookie.ag, our studio sponsor, and the place I put all of my sports wagering in. That's right, and if you're a first-timer, give them a try. MyBookie.ag, MyBookie.com. Use that promo code Woodward. They'll double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. No matter what you put in, up to $1,000, they'll double it. That's your money to do it whatever you want with. Beer Man joins us later today. Make sure you join us. He has been 5-1 in his last 6. He got nipped last week. Braylon had the winner at the end. The overtime Kansas City win. Tonight, you got the 49ers and the Titans. Titans a 3-point home underdog. Who are you going to take in that one? You got the college football bowl games going on. The Hawaii Bowl tomorrow night on Christmas Eve. So we got lots to go on. You can bet it all at mybookie.ag. Use the promo code Woodward to double your first deposit to $1,000. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. If you have a gambling problem, please call the Michigan Gambling Problem Hotline, 1-800-270-7117.
Nothing. It's a card from my dad.
What is it? Dear son, happy Festivus? What is Festivus?
It's nothing. It's nothing.
When George was growing
Jerry,
up,
no.
his father
No.
hated all the commercial and religious aspects of Christmas,
Yeah.
so he made up his own holiday.
Oh, and another piece of the puzzle falls into place.
All right.
And instead of a tree, didn't your father put up an aluminum pole?
Jerry, stop it.
And then weren't there feats of strength that always ended up with you crying?
Can't take it anymore. I'm going to work. You happy now?
Before I ask you, I was going to ask you real quick about the 49ers and the Titans, and then we'll get into the Lions and the Falcons. Maz, tell us about Festivus and why you love it so much in the Seinfeld. Bring us into the holiday
Because he
spirit.
is George Costanza. That's why he loves it.
I'm George. No, it's Seinfeld. It's Festivus. It's December 23rd. It'll never be anything but Festivus going forward. And Stick had a little interesting tidbit for me earlier today. What'd you find on Twitter for me?
Yeah, a buddy of mine actually posted this. Festivus was actually written about by a guy for the Reader's Digest. He was an editor for the Reader's Digest, and his son ended up being a writer for Seinfeld and wrote it into Seinfeld.
Wow.
So Festivus is attributed to Seinfeld, but it was around before Seinfeld.
Isn't that something? And
He
I
was
do have
giving his dad some love in there.
Yeah.
I've got a mini aluminum pole at home. I do put up for the holidays.
Do you
I
strip
do.
on
I
it?
have two of them actually.
Yeah, I got a brass one, a little different.
So
Mine's in the basement.
Maz in the pole in his living room. That just didn't sound right.
It's a Festivus for the rest of us.
It sounded like stripping, but here we go.
To see Maz slowly rotating around the pole.
God. What is Santa hat?
That's gross.
Oh,
It
God.
definitely is right. But let's get
Out of my
everybody
head.
back on track. Talking about the defense of the Titans, talking about the defense of the 49ers, I think it's going to be which of those quarterbacks decides to have a game. Because Garoppolo is playing well, and he's playing himself into a situation where he's playing to get paid. Because we know Jimmy G will not be there starting next season. That's just my consensus. Ryan Tannehill has proven that he can stay before getting the boot because they see how he plays without Derek. Which of these quarterbacks do you trust?
I trust Tannehill. I've liked Tannehill ever since he was even playing in Miami. I mean, the ability to make plays with your legs is kind of what separates him from me. And just you see sometimes fit, right, for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Sometimes they get to a position, they get to a place, and it's like, this guy sucks. And it's like, wait a minute, no, he doesn't. Let's check out the offense. Let's check out how they're using him. Because you saw once he went to Tennessee, and obviously having a running back like Derrick Henry should help any quarterback. But he capitalized on that and took that ball literally and ran with it with his little Jordan flop when he comes into the end zone and stuff like that.
I love that.
Yeah, you want that swagger. You want that leadership out of your quarterback. And Jimmy G, to me, has always just been vanilla. Like, that's it. Like, he's good.
Silver spoon in his mouth.
He came from the Patriots system. He did well when he filled in for Tom Brady. He was supposed to be the golden boy once he went to San Francisco. Nobody's ever really seen that out of him. But he's a serviceable, good quarterback. He's not the guy that's ever going to take you over the top, in my opinion.
How different it is, like, one play can make. And the reason I say that, Jimmy G's in the Super Bowl, having an amazing Super Bowl.
Yep.
And then he has 2 missed passes in the second half, and it wrote his legacy. If he makes the one pass, he dropped the touchdown, the guy was wide open. Now, he's wide open. He drops the ball right in his laps, wide touchdown. They stay in the lead. Chiefs don't win that Super Bowl.
Right.
And it's a whole nother conversation. Now he misses those 2 throws, and you haven't heard from him until Trey Lance gets hurt.
Well, that's what happens when you miss big opportunities in your life. I mean, it's in life and in football. He had the receiver wide open, and he threw it high. He sailed it on him. And, when you think of throwing high and sailing it in the San Francisco uniform, you're thinking about the Clark touchdown from Joe Montana in the back of the end zone. But those are the plays that set your legacy because that's what you remember about Joe Montana. He was able to make that type of play, and that guy wasn't wide open. So if you can't even hit the wide open wide receiver, it's going to make me question you.
This is true. Speaking of hitting the wide open wide receiver, who is going to be hitting open wide receivers in Atlanta this week for the Detroit Lions, man?
Probably TB12.
Yeah, well then he ain't going to be hitting the wide receivers.
It's looking, and I'll tell you, there's a tweet I want to put up from Dan Campbell earlier today talking about Jared Goff because he didn't have very many symptoms of COVID. And now they're not going to test asymptomatic players.
Right.
But he said, and I'm not sure, I can't read that damn thing. Alex probably can though. But it's a great quote from Dan Campbell about Jared Goff and coming out. Go ahead, Alex. Read that for us.
Guys that have tested positive, they don't know, is it a cold because they have a child on the way, worried about their wife, and so on. Those are things that you don't want to lose sight of. There's still that key, hey man, it's one thing for me to get it, but I'm thinking about my family too. So I can think that was the first thing Goff thought of. It wasn't the fact that I feel sick and I don't feel good. I think it was like, man, I don't want to, spread this somebody that's really worried about this or could affect them or their family. And so, look, I think that's a good thing. That's Dan Campbell.
That's Dan Campbell talking about Jared Goff. Goff didn't have to say, hey, I'm all, because he wants to play.
Right.
Yeah.
He wants to play. Now he's probably going to be down for the game.
Yeah, he needs those 2 negative tests before he can get back. And it's crazy how the NFL has changed between like guys hiding injuries back in the day and making sure, and now they can't even hide if they got the sniffles and stuff because this is exactly what happens.
Look at concussions.
Yeah, and it puts you in a tough position though because as a leader, you don't want to get your team sick, right? But as a leader, you need to be on the field to lead your team. So I don't know how I'd manage that situation.
Yeah, it's a tough day and age. You can no longer be the gladiators that they were in the 60s and 70s, 80s, and 90s.
It's almost frowned upon if you are.
And even in 2000s, you're hurting your team or you're hurting yourself or the team, they don't want you to do so. And you want to do something. It's this weird line of, how much is enough to be a gladiator and to be a leader and how much is enough to be smart and be respectful of my surroundings, man. It's tough.
Let me ask you, Bray, as a player, back in your playing days.
I never came off the field, as Ryan Armani was saying.
I'm just saying, if a guy sat out with an injury you thought he could play with, what were you thinking? What were you saying about him back then?
It's tough because I ran track as well, and I know you can get these small injuries in track that nobody can see or nobody can feel, hamstrings, groin, things of that nature, and I won't be able to go my hardest. So for me, it was easier to respect players more. But guys, they didn't play around. Like if they didn't see chips or fractures or if they didn't see things or you had a limp or you had something, guys were very judgmental. Guys would say, call you out. And it's tough when you got guys like Ryan Tucker, who was our left tackle when I played my first 3 years in Cleveland before what's his name? Left tackle, Hall of Fame.
He's on the NFL Network. Joe Thomas.
Before Joe Thomas came, we had Ryan Tucker. Ryan Tucker was our guy, and then he moved on to right tackle. He played with 3 chips in his 7th and 8th vertebrae. He had like chips in his neck, like broken bones. He played with a dislocated something. So when an Iron Man is playing with all of these different things, and people are rallying around him because he is given to the team playing this way, it's tough to come in there and say, I got a tweaked hamstring. You know what I'm saying? Like,
do you think it's different nowadays now?
Yeah.
What, you really do?
Yeah, I think it's different.
You don't think it's still old school?
Nah. I think there's old school players, there's old school mentality, but everybody's understanding right now. I think everybody's more understanding.
By the way, I love that backdrop that we have of the Lions.
Yeah,
I don't know if
amazing.
everyone could see it.
It got up there now.
It is beautiful. So anytime we talk about a different team, we've got a different graphic, and Justin Slaning has put this together. Am I correct?
No, it's actually our boy Roman. Roman put those together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That is a really sharp, man. Really good looking.
Yeah, he did a good job with all those murals. And also we do a wallpaper Wednesday on our Twitter, so make sure you're following us at Woodward Sports, and you can download that to wallpaper on your phone or put on your computer and do fun stuff.
I love it.
Yeah. If you love the teams, we got the stuff for you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's the ticket.
This game against the Atlanta Falcons and the Detroit Lions is going to be a very interesting one.
Yeah, for me, honestly, like people were asking me, hey, if the Lions didn't win last week, which nobody expected, could they win another game this season? And I kept telling people, Atlanta. To me, Atlanta's been the most vulnerable team left on their schedule for a long time.
Yeah.
So I
Since
think
the loss to Chicago.
Since the loss to Chicago, Calvin Ridley stepped aside for his mental health, and that really, affected just how effective their offense can be. Pitts had a good middle of the season, but he's kind of died off since then.
He made the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, Matt Ryan is Matt Ryan. To me, Matt Ryan and Matt Stafford were almost the same. They're the same.
God,
I've always
thought that.
Yeah, they're comparable. That's it, except Matt Ryan's been to a Super Bowl.
2. But 1. They've been the one before him. Chris Chandler took him to Super Bowl 33.
Yeah.
This is true. The infamous.
Yeah, the Dirty Bird,
the Dirty
baby.
Bird.
The Dirty
Even
Bird.
Dan Reeves did the Dirty Bird. That was the first Super Bowl I actually got to go to.
Is that the first one?
That was the first one.
Wow.
Enjoyed the hell out of it. That was John Elway's last game.
I remember. We might have to jump into that when we get back from a break, man.
Hey, by the way, the Lions lead the series with the Falcons 25-13. It's one of only 6 teams that the Lions have a winning record against in the whole NFL in history.
We got their number, baby.
Isn't that unbelievable?
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
And thanks to Todd Gurley last year, a couple of years ago, he gave us a win. And
yeah, that was last year.
And then he knocked us out of the...
And then don't forget when we were in Europe, we hit that last-second 55-yard field goal to beat them.
Remember the 3 years ago? Remember the game, the infamous the 1 yard at the
Golden Tate. The
Golden Tate.
10-second runoff.
They stole
10-second runoff.
They hadn't even heard of that ruling in like 50 years or something like that.
It's Lions.
Anyway, speaking of Lions, we'll get back to them in a second, man. I'm Edwards. This is Stick filling in for Armani. This is Woodward Sports Network, The Bottom Line.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
The pros know. Go! Listen Listen Monday through Friday for Big D Energy Live on the Woodward Sports Network with Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty, former Lion Joik Bell, and the silky voice of Neil Rule.
Hey, how's it going? This is Braylon from Woodward Sports Network. Wanting to tell you about how you can find a career in an event and in an industry. There you go. I was struggling a little bit. How you can find a career in an industry that is always essential. Ladies and gentlemen, I am talking about the heating and cooling industry. It is always essential. Visit northwesterntech.edu and you can find out how you can be a part of it. And guess what? They have jobs ranging from $77,000 out of the gate. I don't know about you, but that's a lot of money, especially at a time like now, especially in a climate like now. Visit northwesterntech.edu right now. Tell them Braylon sent you.
Welcome back to the bottom line right here on the Woodward Sports Network. And don't forget, you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitch. Download our app on Apple or Google Play. Yep. You can listen to us on the radio right here in Detroit, 99.1 FM, 93.5, and 94.7 HD2. It's called The Roar. And if you want to just listen to the version of this in podcast form, anywhere you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Music. We're everywhere, baby. Download the podcast today, and you guys set up a special guest. I'm happy to be sitting here able to talk today.
Well, I'm happy he's here
Go
too,
ahead,
man.
Uncle.
This is that word still feels old to me. I'm like, man,
you're an uncle, man.
Come on, uncle. When am I about to be a grandfather? Like that's the one. But my nephew Micah, he signed a dotted line with Michigan last week, and now he's going to be a Michigan Wolverine coming up. And this was all his choice, and it's great, man. He has myself, he has his father Marcus, who will be joining us later as well, man. So let's bring Mike in and let's ask him. There he is.
Micah
What's going on,
Pollard.
Mike?
What's up, everybody?
What's going on, buddy? How you doing, man?
I'm good. How about you?
Man, I got my nephew on here talking about Michigan, man, so I think I'm doing pretty good.
Can I take a pause real quick before we get into this? The fact that you bring your dad on the network, your nephew on the network, like, to me, that's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. Like,
I'm just using you guys to promote my family.
To promote your family? That's all right, man. Lift them up, baby. Lift them up. But I think it's awesome, man.
Hey, Micah, turn your phone sideways if you can. Then we can see your whole. We can see the whole thing.
I think it's going to turn him if he does that.
Let's see. Let's see if it works.
Yeah. No.
Nah,
never mind. Go back.
Right, give me a second. I think we're trying to put it on the computer.
It's okay.
We'll
keep rolling
you
with you.
First question out the gate while you guys are trying to figure it out. Michael, what made you choose University of Michigan? Let's start there. No. All right, well, he'll be back in a second, though. But I just want to...
Can I answer for him? Because you told me to, Uncle.
No, that is not.
I want to show some love to a guy who just got the new recruiting position at University of Michigan, Albert Karshnia. He was up at Central Michigan University. They announced it yesterday, so he's going to be the head of the recruiting for football for Michigan.
You know him?
I do know him. My old English teacher, it's his son.
Nice.
So, like, I was super stoked to see it on Twitter yesterday because he was up at Central doing his thing.
Let's get him on.
He was recruiting people. We can get him on anytime, but for now he's going to be a big part of the Michigan recruiting process, which obviously they're looking strong right now on that end. It's a good time to be at Michigan.
Man, congratulations to him, man. That's good stuff, especially as we're having all these young recruits on now. We had Will Johnson on last week.
Yep.
And we got Micah Pollard on today. Once we get him back, let us know over there, Alex. But that's what I always wanted to know. Like, what made Micah go to Michigan? You know, you look with the offers that he had, and we'll bring him on and we'll ask him himself. But
he had 27 offers.
A lot of those are SEC. Where he lives in Jacksonville. That's SEC country. Well, he's here. Let's get Micah back on and ask him himself. There it is. There we go. So, Micah, just right back into it. What made you choose Michigan? Because you had 26 offers, a lot of those SEC, a lot of those down in the area that you are. You are in Jackson, Duval County. What made you come all the way up to here to where it actually is snowing outside right now?
I feel like Michigan was the best fit. I really like where I play the position. Like, coaches there telling me I'd be all around the defense. I could be off the edge, in the box, even drop back into some coverage. And, like, the coaches, they show true love. Like, when I took my visit up there, like, the community, it was just amazing. So I just felt like it was the best fit for me and my family.
Yeah, now your dad actually played with Harbaugh in Indianapolis, and now you get to play for Harbaugh. When we hear all these crazy recruiting stories, when Harbaugh comes to your house, he's sleeping in the trees, he's doing all these crazy things. What was your first impression of Jim Harbaugh when he came to meet you?
Oh, yeah, he had a great impression because, like, him and my dad already knew each other, so it was really cool. He's a really funny guy and just interesting guy. I really like him. He's cool.
Micah, you got a popular name now, Micah. Micah Parsons, Micah Pollard, Micah Parsons. Is that one of your favorites, by the way, linebacker?
yeah, I follow him on Twitter. Like, seeing how he plays and, like, how he carries himself, he's, like, a really cool guy. I aspire to be like him. He's cool.
Are you going to wear number 11 as well?
I kind of want to wear 11. I was thinking about it. Either, like, 0, 4, 11, or 41. I might maybe even. But, like,
you need to be 11. You need to be 11. That's you.
There's other numbers you could wear. You know what I'm saying?
You can wear number 1.
I'm just throwing that out there. Micah, tell me something like this, man. You guys, you and your buddies in high school, actually, I think we have a picture of that, your boys on the stage, you guys going and signing the letter of intent to your respective schools. But you guys aren't going. This is the family right here. That's my sister right there, Micah's mom. That's Big Marcus up there. And that is Aja, Micah's second older sister. Let me ask you this. You guys chose not to go to college. Will Johnson, 5-star recruit, we had him on last week. He's going a little bit early. What made you guys stay and finish out your senior career as opposed to join college early? Because you actually had a chance to if you wanted to.
Yeah, I just feel like I needed a little bit extra time. Like, I wanted to like gather as much time with my family because I know, like, once I get there, like, I'm gonna be there the whole time. I'm gonna have barely any time to visit my family. I'm only be like once a year, so I really want to enjoy this time with my family because I'm not gonna be able to get it back. And then, like, I also wanted more time to, like, get ready, get situated, make sure I was mentally ready. And, like, I'm gonna be working with one of my dad's coworkers, backers. So I want to use all this time to be able to make sure I'm ready. So when I get up there, it's like I'm 100% sure, like, I can do this and I won't look back, and I'll just make sure I'm ready for it.
That's dope. Smart. Very smart.
Nice. You talked a little bit about the position that you're going to be playing. Obviously, you're a linebacker coming out of high school. And Michigan, sometimes they have that hybrid linebacker position, you know, that they did with Devin when he was here. Is that the type of role that you want to play, or are you looking at kind of anchoring the defense like a Ross in the middle?
Like, what do you mean by, like, what position I'd be there, or what do you mean?
Yeah, just, you know how Michigan sometimes when they have a highly skilled linebacker, they'll put them all over the place.
They used to call it the Viper position.
Yep.
The Viper position when they move around.
Jabril Peppers played it.
Khalid Hudson played it.
Yep.
Yeah. So kind of like what you're trying to do now, or what you do now is that Viper position that Michigan is integrated into their system a couple years ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to doing, like, because that's kind of like what I do now where I play. And, like, when I went to college, that's also one of the reasons I picked it, because, like, how they would use me around the field. Like, I want to be off the edge in the box, drop back into coverage, and so I just want to carry that to college and hopefully one day NFL, like, just utilize me throughout the whole field.
Now, I know my sister has been on you about checking in when you go to school, because you know how Imani is. You know, she loves her kids to death. Like, what are you going to most miss about when you go to college in terms of anything? I know for me, I live down the street. I'm from Detroit, went to Ann Arbor, but I just missed that home cooking, man. Like, you know, the food up there, it wasn't mama's cooking. So what are you going to miss most?
I'm definitely going to miss my family a lot because, like, I'm very family-oriented. I love my family. I'm going to miss them a lot. I'm going to miss my friends because, like, we've been friends since, like, elementary, but, you know, it's part of growing up. I'm also going to miss the weather because I know once I get up there, it's going to be cold.
It's snowing and it's cold right now.
Hey, Mike, what other schools were you looking at? I mean, were you thinking of staying in Florida?
Yeah, I was thinking about it. UCF, I took my visit up there, but it was either between Michigan and Auburn. At the end of the day, I just felt like Michigan was.
Yeah. Speaking of Auburn, you got the SEC. You have Georgia and Michigan coming up. A game I know you will be watching New Year's Eve. What do you think about Georgia? I know you probably watched them a couple times this year, and obviously I know you watched Michigan all this year. What do you think about Michigan's chances against Georgia, and what do you think about Georgia?
I think we have a fair chance. I have a very high chance. I feel like Georgia's defense is going to do good, but I feel like at the end of the day, Michigan's going to bring it home because, like, our offense is amazing. And then our defense is what I feel like that's going to take us to the next level because, like, a job off the edge, 800% off the edge, like, just that pressure, I feel like that's what's going to get us to the win, get us that victory.
Hey, Micah, what about what are you going to be looking to do maybe when you get in college? In other words, how are you looking to maybe get paid?
Get paid?
Yeah.
Man, probably, like, hopefully maybe do some NIL deals. I'm not too sure. I haven't really looked into that, but I'm looking more into it when I get there. But, like,
well, Uncle Braylon could probably help you out with that. You know, you could talk to him. He knows a lot of people here.
The first Woodward Sports athlete, right?
That's right.
Hey, that could be something.
That's right.
That could be something. But you know what we're gonna worry about? We're going to worry about him getting integrated into school first. We're going to worry about his grades. We're going to worry about him learning the system.
I'm getting paid.
Hey, I tell you like this, what you're going to do is you're going to get my ass whooped by Marcus at the mind if you keep on going. So I'm trying to
You can tell Braylon's grown now. You can tell Braylon's grown up.
I got to protect
I'm putting my mic down.
I got to protect my nephew. Micah, before we get you out of here, man, what do you hope to bring? Actually, let me not say what do you hope to bring, because you're a very confident individual as you are humble. What are you going to bring to the Michigan Wolverines when you come to school and when you come to campus next fall?
I'm for sure gonna bring the intensity, hard work, and especially off the football field, because what we work on now, my head coach does a very good job of teaching us that is be a light on the campus, be a light in the community. So when I get up there, I'm gonna just help the community be way better, and when I on the football field wise, just be an athlete, an animal, and give them 100% effort all day, every game.
That's one of the best answers I've ever heard. You can tell he was raised and has great family around him, man. And I'm part of that too.
Two things you can't teach is attitude and work ethic. And
his mama
you got them both, man.
Hey, Mike, are you a big Jags fan?
Yeah, I'm a huge Jags fan, yes, sir.
What'd you think about Coach Urban Meyer?
Hey, put your mic down. Cut his mic off. Cut his mic off. No more questions from Mavs. No more questions. Hey, don't answer that question. We'll ask your father that. You don't answer that question.
All right.
Let's get him out of here. Hey, that's Micah Pollard coming into fall 2022 University of Michigan Wolverines. He's coming to kick butt and take names. Micah, we appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
That's my nephew, boy. That's
that
what
is,
I'm talking
you
about.
You got me so proud, man.
Yeah, I'm just proud of the way in which his parents have raised him. I'm proud in which, it's always Uncle Bray. It's never, Braylon. It's never anything crazy like that. You hear his message. You hear what he's come to do. He wants to be a light in the community. He wants to be a light around the campus. He wants to be great on and off the field. He wants to put in that work ethic and bring in that intensity. That's something that you learn at home. That's something that is instilled in you. And Marcus and Imani have done a damn good job in doing so.
Did you like that number I told him? 1-1?
No, that 1-1 is nice.
One for Micah.
That'd be nice.
1-1, baby.
That 11 would be nice. But we gotta get to a commercial because we gotta prepare. We got his father coming on in about 11 minutes. Hey, now you can
come at Baz.
Hey, I know, right? You talking about my son like that. This is Edwards, and this is Stick filling in for Imani on Woodward Sports Network. The Bottom Line.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Your Detroit alternative to the normal sports blah, blah, blah. It's Woodward Sports.
Hey, the holidays are here, and if you're like most guys, you put things off, you procrastinate, well, guess what? You got to show your mom, you got to show your family your best look coming up in 2 days for Christmas. And you know what? Lady Jane's is open all day today and tomorrow to get that last-minute cut. So if you're in the area and you need a haircut, you're looking shaggy, you don't want to show up and have your mom tell you you're not looking good. You want to show up and your mom be like, oh, honey, you've been taking care of yourself. Well, come to Lady Jane's. They will give that to you. It's the King's treatment. They'll give you the scalp rub. They'll give you the shoulder rub. They'll also make sure that your hair is looking perfect. So make sure you come to Lady Jane's. They'll take care of everything, and it's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome. I got your message. I haven't celebrated Festivus in years. What is your interest?
Well, just tell me everything, huh?
Many Christmases ago, I went to buy a doll for my son. I reached for the last one they had, but so did another man. As I rained blows upon him, I realized there had to be another way.
What happened to the doll?
It was destroyed. But out of that, a new holiday was born. A Festivus for the rest of us.
Well, that must have been some kind of doll.
She was.
Maz is over here mouthing every single man. If they had a karaoke version of Seinfeld, Maz would be able to kill it every time.
He's complaining in the studio right now, Stick, because he says that it's sped up clips. He says so it sounds a little like helium as opposed to original. And you know what? I have to take his word for it because he knows his Festivus.
Yeah, he has them all on VHS. It's amazing.
I do. It's a Festivus miracle.
It's a Festivus miracle.
I got VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and on the DVR.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Let's jump back into talking about Micah and Michigan just for 2 seconds.
Okay.
Talk about the young recruits because we talked about the same thing. We had Will Johnson on last week. Now we have Micah Pollard on. Both of them class of 2022. It's something about the you can't even call them kids anymore. It's something about these young men, these teenagers now, where you had Will on, you got Mike on. They sound so adult-like. They sound so professional. They sound like they've been there before. You ask questions. The answer that he gave me sounded like a guy that's been in the NFL 2 years will give, or 3 years or 4 years, someone with some experience.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point, and I feel that way that like the professionalism of sports has like stemmed all the way down. Because back when I was playing Little League football, it wasn't like professionalism; it was kids having fun
and
now,
eating popsicles after the game.
Yeah, eating popsicles after the game. But now you got kids that are 9, 10 years old, training, doing all types of fitness, making sure that they're getting to that next level earlier, and it's not only physically but it's mentally too. How to respond to interview questions, how to carry yourself as a man, and how to carry yourself in public, because it's different. These kids are being watched on social media from the time they're literally putting on a uniform, so everything they say is documented. So they have to be more polished than somebody like you were back in the day. And
are you trying to say I wasn't polished?
Yeah.
Are you trying to say I wasn't polished? I was decent. I was all right.
Yeah, but think about it. You didn't have the added pressure of, if I make a dumb, little post on my Twitter today, it's going to follow me and lose my scholarship. You didn't have to worry about that. You could joke around with your boys. Like, we could carry ourselves different back then because it wasn't documented. So, yeah, the professionalism has dripped all the way down to teens now.
Yeah, for the first
Let's face it, man. Travel ball, these parents are hiring these agencies that are scouting their kids and trying to get them scholarships. It's to another level now. And by the way, another great backdrop there.
We are.
Look at that.
That's a new one today, too.
That is beautiful.
Good. That looks good, man.
That's a wallpaper, man.
that is something you put on your phone, like the back of a phone or something like that. It's a great picture. Yeah, you guys are right. My father played, obviously, so he was a little harder on me. After football games, I would have to have track practice, and sometimes I would have to do things. But I still had my stepmom, my mom, my dad, my stepdad to bring out the fun side of things. So I still have that. But you're right. It is a business, and they're treating it like a business. I didn't have to deal with Twitter until 2008. I think first time I actually had to deal with Twitter was 2009. There's a reporter in Cleveland, went to an account that said Braylon Edwards that wasn't my account, and it said something negative about the team. And so they thought it was me, and they published the article, and they found out it wasn't me. And you know how they hate to do retractions. So they had to do a retraction, and then I learned that I got to get on Twitter. But, but they do it well. These kids are doing it well. They're no longer kids. So only thing you want to make sure they do is have fun. And whenever I get a chance to talk to them, I always try to tell them, hey, make sure you're having fun. Listen to your parents, but make sure you're having fun. Listen to your coaches. Do what you're supposed to do, but make sure you're still having. You're a kid. I don't care
that's
what
the
you
thing.
say. You're still 17.
Right, and that's kind of the sad part about this too, is that they won't get to be kids. Like, if you're going to be at that level of athlete, you got to be at that level of athlete very early.
Especially
now.
Basketball.
Oh,
think about that. One and dones. You don't see that in college football.
Right.
But the one and dones in basketball, those kids really got to be ready.
Just think about Imani Bates. Like, that's who we've had recently. I know you know a lot about Imani Bates.
I do.
We had Imani Bates. Like, Imani Bates has been like in that eye for how long, Stick?
At least 3 or 4 years. At least 3 or 4 years, and then when they did the Ipsy Academy, it highlighted him. And now that he's at Memphis, I think he's actually fallen out of the spotlight a little bit at Memphis, which probably is good for him. Because when you have that much pressure on you at a young age, it brings out a different side of you sometimes. So I think maybe that's good for him to get that pressure off.
I think when we think about it that way, Maz, that's when you really can appreciate someone like LeBron James.
Heck yeah.
Like, that's when you can appreciate LeBron James. LeBron had all that thrust upon him.
I wish I could like him.
Like,
I wish I could too.
Yeah.
Like, he had all that thrust upon him at 18 years old. He's the chosen one.
Sports Illustrated. I remember that skinny kid
exactly
with the Irish jersey.
with the green head.
Yeah, I'm like, we got to get that guy.
That was like the first nationally televised high school game that really I watched on ESPN, but now it's commonplace to see
people forget Pistons picked second in that damn draft.
Oh, we don't forget.
No,
I don't think anybody's ever going to forget that second pick in that draft.
But you forget that's LeBron draft.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the LeBron draft.
Yeah, we still can go down there. You got LeBron at 1, you got Darko at 2, you got D-Wade at 3.
It's the greatest draft ever.
But you got Bosh, you got Melo. So
Yeah, Melo.
yeah, it was. Really, yeah, it was,
Why'd you? It's Christmas, man. Can we air grievances right now?
that's a
Can I air a
grievance.
grievance for
You
Festivus?
You can.
We can never bring up that number 2 pick again. It ruins my day.
Especially the name Darko.
Yes. Yeah. You know why too. Yeah.
Hits home.
and not,
Yeah.
and not Darnie Darko. But, going back to what we were talking about, kids having that pressure on them. The fact that LeBron James has overachieved for what the pressure is that was on him is insane. Look at Venus and Serena Williams. Like the child,
amazing.
The child prodigies and what they were able to do. Serena is considered by many arguably the best athlete of all time, male or female. Tiger Woods, we had the conversation yesterday.
Number 1.
I agree with you on that. What Tiger did from the young age under, rest in peace, Earl Woods, to what he's done now, like it's insane that they've been able to stay dialed in
Think about
for
those dads.
so many years.
Think about the dads of
King
those
Richard, Earl Woods.
Yep.
Marcus Pollard now with Micah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's impressive, and that's why you really got to take your hat out to the fathers, the mothers,
right?
Because I'm pretty sure those fathers are tough to deal with.
Yeah, I used to argue with people all the time, like, I hate to use Justin Bieber as an example, but there's another kid who had, like, I was an idiot when I was 17, 18, 19, doing dumb things, like, driving down the lodge 100 miles an hour in my Jeep.
Don't worry, he did it too.
Yeah, but he did it in a Lamborghini. Like, I did it when I was broke.
Right.
Like, I couldn't imagine having the world in my hands.
At 13.
Able to do whatever
baby. That song came out, he's like 13.
Right, but having all that money so early to just do what you want, I would have made such worse decisions in my life had I had money like that. So to your point, anybody who survives that or comes through clean on the other end really had to do a great job of tiptoeing that line. And LeBron, I don't like LeBron between the lines, but everything that guy does outside of a basketball court, I will never criticize him with. He gives back. He creates schools. He's a good man.
Creates opportunities.
He's just a bad teammate.
You just never know if you're going to get fired or if he's going to be there.
Oh yeah, or if he's going to railroad your coach or kick you off the team. Yeah, outside of that, he's fine. But in the lines, I'm not a big LeBron fan. But to your point, the fact that those kids get so much put on them early is nuts. And we got to take a break real quick. But when we come back, we got Marcus on the line.
We got Marcus on the line.
We're working on that black screen right now.
Working on the black screen.
All right.
The black screen of death.
So we're going to talk to Marcus Pollard. We're also going to talk
Vader.
about starting quarterbacks in the NFL. My name is Stick, filling in for Ryan Ermani today. That is Braylon Edwards. This is The Bottom Line. We'll be right back.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Big names, bigger opinions. It's The Bottom Line on Woodward Sports.
Sometimes you see those commercials where someone buys a car from somebody that they don't even know they're getting a car for Christmas.
I've seen one of those before.
Yeah, you've seen one of those. Well, if you're doing that and you want to surprise somebody with a new car, there's only one place to do it this holiday season. That is Les Stanford. And also, if you're looking to get rid of your lease, because they're buying back cars like crazy right now because of the chip shortage, Les Stanford is your authorized lease return dealer. They will hook you up more than anybody else. So if you're in the market to buy a new car, get somebody a new sleigh for the holiday, Les Stanford, where you need to go. You can give them a call, 313-565-6000, or go to lesstanford.com and make sure while you're out there, you find new roads.
Find new roads.
Where's Fish when you need him?
All right,
You miss Fish, don't you?
Find new roads.
Fish will be yelling, find new roads.
Find new roads. Get out.
Get out.
Get out of my house.
Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports.
The Woodward Sports Network.
I think we're close to having Marcus working on it. I think
we got him. I talked him through it.
That's what I'm talking about. Who's better than you, man?
Nobody.
Coming in now, my brother-in-law, Marcus Pollard's son. See, this is what he's going to get used to being known as, is he's the father of Micah Pollard. See, Marcus, that's how it happens. Let's bring him in now, Marcus Pollard. Marcus, what's up, big bro? What's up,
family?
man? First
hey, Marcus,
of all, man,
welcome back.
Congratulations again. Signed that dotted line last week, man. How does that feel for you as a father to see your son go where he wanted to go and do it the way in which he wanted to do it.
Yeah, I'm really excited about Micah's opportunity to come to Michigan. You know, it's something that he's talked about for a long time, playing Division I, college football and play at a university as prestigious as Michigan. And following the footsteps of his uncle Braylon, man, it's something special. And we're really looking forward to him, not just playing ball at Michigan, but to having family, so close by while he's attending college.
Talking to Marcus Pollard, head of player development for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We will get into the Jaguars eventually. I know Maz definitely wants to touch on that. I love the hoodie, by the way, Team Apparel. Nothing like Team Apparel. That might be what I miss most about playing the league. Besides the jokes, is the free dope gear. But Marcus, more than that, talking to Micah, man, we're talking about these young individuals being so on point now. They're so mentally strong. Like, you asked him a question. I said, what do you want to bring most to University of Michigan and Ann Arbor next year when you get up there? And you're expecting those kiddie answers that I would have given, or maybe you would have given when you were younger. Like, now, because sport is so dynamic, his answer was just, I was like, man, I wouldn't have given that answer until about year 6 in the NFL. Like, how proud are you of that side of him as well? He's so humble, but so smart and so sharp.
Yeah, that's a great question, bro. Like Micah, he's just a humble kid, respects ball, loves ball. But I think the thing that I'm so proud of him is just his humility and his approach to everything outside of ball, his maturity, how he loves helping people in the community. So I think that's one of the things that's really going to be special for all the people at Michigan, just to see him develop as a person. And then the football person is going to come out eventually. But I'm really excited about the person they're getting at Michigan and the community.
Now, Marcus, I know the answer to this already, kind of, because you're proud of your son. I'm sure you trust his decisions, you trust his judgment. But a lot of times, sometimes parents want their kids to kind of go to this school, kind of go to that school. Was there any other colleges that you were hoping that maybe he was looking at?
Yeah, he had a lot of opportunities, a lot of offers, and I stayed out of it. I tried not to be one of those helicopter dads and let him do his own thing. And so if he make a mistake, he can't look back at me and say, Dad, it was your fault. I chose the school you said. So I stayed out of it. I grew up close to Auburn University. Auburn was one of the schools that, I thought would be good for him. Got family members that are close by. I grew up about 20 or 30 minutes from Auburn. Central Florida was another school that I thought would be good for him, a good fit. But and then there was only about an hour from home. And so I just always wanted him to be close to home, so he could have some family around, and no better place than Michigan.
Talking to Marcus Pollard, a.k.a. my tight end, a.k.a. he and I have the same exact amount of NFL career touchdowns. Go figure. 40 and 40. Marcus, talking about the NFL, switching gears. Last week you fired your coach, and we don't have to get into that. But what do you think that does in terms of the players, in terms of the coaches, in terms of the atmosphere around Jacksonville? Is it for the better?
Braylon, that's a tough question. To have such an icon as Coach Meyer to come here and implement some of the things that he did in college, and that winning culture, that winning environment was tough. And, to make change in the NFL, to change culture, to put a roster together, put a team together, to get out in the community and do things is a challenge. And so I think Coach Meyer put his best foot forward. And, for Shad Khan, the owner, it was a tough decision to make. But I think guys here are still playing ball. They still have their head down, still grinding, trying to win games. Same for our coaching staff. They're still here, doing a game plan, trying to get things figured out and trying to win games. And that's what it all comes back to, winning football games.
Marcus, you played a lot of years. You played a couple here in Detroit. And the last time we had you on, we talked to you about it. And it is a different feeling when you came here to the Lions. It's not a winning culture. It is what it is. We know we haven't won a playoff game, and one playoff win since 1957. And you're with a young team that's already made a couple of AFC championship games. Tell me about the coaches that you've had, the great coaches you've had all through the years. How would you rank them?
I would say Tony Dungy would probably be at the top of my list as far as head coaches, because I think his approach to letting guys be guys and let them be men, and then treat them as such. But at the same time, having this sense of accountability, oneness, team first. He found a way to blend both of those, and sometimes it makes it tough for coaches in today's modern era of coaching. You can't just be hit you upside the head kind of guy. I'm gonna tell you exactly what you should be doing. You got to figure out how to pull these guys in. And
Can't be a kick you guy either.
Time, hold them accountable.
Now you're a tight end. We got a tight end here as our head coach. What's your take on Dan Campbell?
I love Dan. I actually played with Dan in Detroit. My last year there in Detroit, and great guy. I think the way he's going about things, he's doing it his way. And to me, that's the most important thing. If you try and copy somebody else's model, it's going to fail for you. So I love his approach. I love the way he's doing things. He's got a lot of guys on that staff that played in the league. And to me, that says something about the kind of people that he wanted around the organization. Guys who play, guys who understand other players and can help them get better. And that's all you want from your coaching staff.
See, that's why we were connected at the hip. That's actually where I was going next with my question to you. I was like, if you look at that roster, the Detroit Lions, have you ever seen a roster like that where the head coach is a former player and pretty much everybody on that roster is a player? Obviously, Mark Brunell used to be down there in Jacksonville Jaguars years ago. But what does that do for a roster, Marcus, in terms of when it starts to work? What does that do having a bunch of guys, not just 2 or 3 here or there, but the whole squad is filled with coaches that played in the league before, and they know what they're doing?
Yeah, I think to me that's a lot of guys, and like I said, in this modern era, it's a different kind of football player than you got, 15, 20 years ago. Guys now are into what can you do for me? How much you going to love on me? How much do you care for me? And once you can show a guy that you care, they'll follow you anywhere. And to me, having those veteran position coaches who played in the league at one point, they understand the dynamic of getting guys to play well and play hard and to play efficient and what they're playing for. So to me, having a roster full of former legend coaches, to me, it's an ideal situation for the city of Detroit and the organization.
So, Marcus, last year, obviously, the Jacksonville Jaguars took Trevor Lawrence as their #1 overall pick and as your quarterback of the future, and we've been able to see some of his development through the year. Obviously, that's going to change when Darrell Bevell takes over and you bring in whoever the next head coach is going to be. As Lions fans, the biggest debate around here has been about our next quarterback. I know you're probably following some of the college athletes and stuff like that. Is there any quarterback or any advice that you could give our franchise for drafting our next great quarterback? Please, sir.
We're open. We're open ears.
Or is it Jared Goff?
Jared's a great quarterback. I think he has to. He still has a lot of good years left in front of him. I think he's a guy that's going to need some pieces around him to help him be successful. That's O-line, running back, receivers. He's got a good tight end right now. But I think there's some important pieces that could be added to help him out. I think quarterback is a unique position for the NFL. I think nothing moves without a quarterback. I look at it as like farming. If you bought a farm, quarterback's a tractor. You can't do any work without that tractor. You can't cut no fields. You can't bale no hay. And so if you don't have that quarterback, you don't have nothing. But I think the kid from Pittsburgh, can't call his name now.
Kenny Pickett.
Yes. I think he's going to be a pretty good quarterback. He's shown some upside with the ability to throw the ball, tight windows, can deal with pressure. He's got great frame, great size, intelligence from what I understand so far. And so I think he'd be a quarterback that could come in and compete with Jared and see who's the best quarterback to help lead Detroit into the future.
With that fake slide, he definitely has shown some intelligence.
He changed the game.
He did.
Changed the game.
Hey, our Ryan Armani thinks that the Lions will pick him with the #1 pick. They think they're going to. He thinks they're going to take.
You're stuttering. Yeah. You're so baffled over it.
I can't get the words out of my mouth because we need defense. That's the #1 thing that we need here on this side.
Yeah, I think defense definitely wins championships, but you can say you need defensive players, but if you don't have a quarterback, you just out there playing ball. And you don't need a game manager. You need a guy that can go out and win a game for you if it came down to the last 2 minutes of the game, put the ball in his hand and go win it for me. I know people say that defense wins championships and you can't do this without defense. I understand that, fine and good. But if you got a defense and you got a good quarterback, you got a chance. But if you don't have a quarterback, you don't have a chance at all.
Marcus Pollard joins us, longtime NFL tight end, now the Jaguars player development VP. Wanted to ask you about the new NFL, COVID and the NFL. All these great players sitting out. It's week 16. And these superstars are sitting out, and their teams need the game, need the win. Lamar Jackson can't play now. He goes on and on. Marcus, tell us about the day-in, day-out challenges now in the NFL with this COVID.
Yeah, last year when we got, I can go back to last year when COVID, burst on the scene, and I call it, there are two BCs. There's before Christ and there's before COVID. And nothing is the same. Nothing is the same since COVID.
Oh my God, I'm still in that one. I'm still in there right now.
It's BC before Christ and before COVID. It's marked time, and so our country, our history, our world would never be the same. Coming up, on the heels of COVID. Last year I never thought a coach would have gotten fired in what they had to deal with last year with protocols and having to do meetings virtually. Not getting that face-to-face time that you could normally get with players and building relationships and putting in offense and defense and special teams. And to be here at this juncture and still not really know what we're doing and not know what's going on can make it a challenge for any coach, any offense, any organization, especially when you have some of your best players not playing. And when that product that the NFL wants to market and patent and put out on the field and some of those key players aren't playing, it makes it tough. But at the same time, you have to be smart and manage as best you can to try and keep people safe as possible.
All right, big bro. We'd be remiss if we let you go before we ask you for a prediction. I know you're a Bama guy as it relates to where you were born and raised, and obviously Auburn was the school that you were closest to. So SEC is what you know growing up. Georgia is playing the Michigan Wolverines, where your son is about to attend in a year. Tell me what you think about this game coming up in 8 days away now from the game. Tell me what you think.
Yeah, I'm looking for a really good matchup between Georgia and Michigan. Both teams are elite. You don't get to this point in the season and not be two elite teams. I played with Kirby, Smart as a head coach, and I played with Jim Harbaugh as a head coach. But I'm going with Maize and Blue. That's my son is going, and that's my uncle. His uncle Braylon went. My wife's from Michigan. So everything about me says that Michigan's going to win this game. I think they're going to run the ball effectively versus Georgia. And prediction, I'd say Michigan 24-13.
Ooh,
I like it.
I like that.
I like
Low score.
I like the fact that Georgia didn't get above 15. Remember, Ryan said yesterday 10 points. So I'm starting to see a trend.
Yeah,
Georgia's
Ryan
not
said
getting
like
above
70 to 60.
Yeah, I know. You
I
got to
think
take
this is going to be a
grain of salt.
defensive game.
You got to take Ryan with a grain of salt, man. But Marcus, big bro, man, I appreciate you coming on the show.
Defensive team, so I think it's going to be a defensive battle. If you don't turn it over, I think you got a chance of winning.
N'Kobe Dean and Jordan Davis lead that defense of
What's
Georgia.
Michigan have? 2 turnovers all year? 2 or 3 turnovers all year?
3 interceptions, 4, and they got 1 fumble. They got 5.
That's not bad.
That's really not bad. That's really not bad. Big bro, appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you letting Micah come on and share some of that young wisdom with us, man. Good luck to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Next game is against the Jets, who also are having interesting years. So their coach is in the COVID protocol.
Go Jags.
Robin Salah. Go Jags.
We need you to win.
The Jags.
Win.
I'm taking the Jags on this one.
Win.
Baby. Love you, big bro.
Likewise. See y'all, man.
All right.
We need that number 1 pick.
That is Marcus Pollard, Director of Player Development for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Corey got an update coming up on the Lions, and we're going to do that next right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for Ryan Armani on the bottom line. That is Braylon Edwards.
Boom.
We'll be right back. Thank you, Detroit. Because of your generous donations, this year's Stuff a Studio was a massive success. With the help from our friends at Meyer, Guardian Alarm, and people like you, we were able to send a massive U-Haul filled with toys to Mott Children's Hospital.
I thought it was pretty cool, but more importantly, my daughter had surgery at Mott back in about 2005 for brain surgery. They did a miraculous job for her. As a matter of fact, she's graduated from Michigan State on Saturday. You could never
hey,
tell.
go green, right?
Thank you. And we really want to thank you. I know we're standing in front of this very large building, but when you look up, this building is full right now with a lot of sick kids that are going to be here through the holidays. And this team is amazing to make sure that they can at least smile during the holidays, and what you guys have done for us will make sure that we're bringing that magic into their hospital room. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Hey, gang, it's Maz for the Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck, home of Foaling. What's Foaling? It's throwing a football at bowling pins. You got a team, you can do a one-on-one any way you want. You want to throw your arm out, do a one-on-one? Go ahead and do it. I suggest doing it with a team. Make a team-building event out of it, and make sure you ask for the inventor of Foaling, Chris and Noni Hutt. Make sure you tell them Woodward Sports sent you. You can host your corporate party there, team building event, whatever you want to do. 2 ways to play. $10 unlimited open play. You can go when they open, and you can stay to when they get the heck out of here. 2 ways to play. Private lane reservation.
Get out!
$120 for 10 people for 2 hours. They got over 100 beers. They got the $2 mystery beer machine, and they have multiple full bars. You bring the food in or have it delivered. Any way you want it, just go get your foal on. Check them out at foldingwarehouse.com.
Heading into their Week 10 matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Detroit Lions were 0-8. During that stretch, Anthony Lynn was the primary play caller on offense. Before that game, Dan Campbell took over, and since then, the Detroit Lions have been 2-3-1. Now, if you did not see my post on Sunday after their victory versus the Arizona Cardinals, Jared Goff has something very telling to say about Dan Campbell's play calling. And if you missed it, here it is again.
And our offense has as well. I mean, obviously, I'm able to be a product of that, but a lot of the stuff that's been going on behind the scenes, and a lot of the game planning, and a lot of the ideas, and just the practice habits that we've developed over the last however many weeks, handful of weeks. I hope you guys have seen that it's different, right? It looks different. It should be a little bit crisper. It should be a little bit sharper. The details are emphasized quite a bit now, and it's been fun to be a part of the change and to hopefully be at the forefront of that and leading that.
Now, that brings me to today's point. I have to tell you, I think Anthony Lynn's days in Detroit are numbered. And if you don't believe that clip from what Jared Goff said, listen to what Anthony Lynn had to say today during the Detroit Lions media session.
You talk about next year. I'm just trying to get through the day. I really focus on staying in the present and trying to help Dan Campbell in this offense as much as I can. But and if I do that next year, it'll take care of itself. We'll figure that out when the time comes. I think we're always evolving and things changing. I mean, if the opportunity presented itself to try to help it, but this is my opportunity right now, so I can't even think outside of this opportunity. So it's just best to stay in the present.
Now, there you heard Anthony Lynn talk about him returning to Detroit next season. Now, check this out on what he had to say about his role in the play calling duties and how his role has advanced since Dan Campbell took over the play calling duties.
You're doing everything but calling plays. You're the coordinator, but you're just not calling it on game day. And some of the plays you do call. Head coach still, asks for your advice on this and that, but it's different. It's not the role that I came here for, but it's still a role, and we're still trying to help the Lions win football games.
Now, look, I'm not trying to put words in anybody's mouth, but look, Jared Goff said what he said on Sunday after the Lions win, with Dan Campbell taking over the play calling, and Ben Johnson, who is the Titans coach, having a more influential voice in the role, the scheme, and the game planning of the offense. You also heard Anthony Lynn talk about his role was reduced. What he's done since coming here is not what he planned on. He planned on having more play calling opportunities and a bigger input in the offense. Now, he still has input, but not the input that he thought he was going to have since coming to Detroit. With that being said, who knows what's going to happen with this time here. Could be his way on out, and it could spell that it's time for Ben Johnson to go ahead and step into the role as offensive coordinator. Who knows? It might even be Deuce Staley. Regardless, it looks like Anthony Lynn may be out of here very soon. This is Corey Woods with the Woodward Sports Network. Checking in with your Detroit Lions update. See you guys next time.
And if you missed anything on the update, you can find it on Woodward Sports Social. Just search us on anything at Woodward Sports, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitch. That is Corey Woods, our Lions reporter, absolutely killing it this season. And I'm glad he finally got to cover a couple wins.
Yeah, I know, right? Always with a dope vantage point as well. Got to throw that out there.
Yeah, no, Corey does his thing. It snowed here in Birmingham. I know in other places around Metro Detroit, they didn't really get any snow. Now it's sunny here, but kind of got us all in the holiday spirit.
It is the holidays. I went to the bathroom during our last break. TMI right there. And I was listening. They got the Christmas music playing on out there in the hallway. So I'm like, it's time to get into that spirit.
That's why I told Jesse. That's why it started snowing. Jesse finally put on Christmas music here in the office. But what you guys plans?
Christmas, man. I'm a huge Christmas guy. Man, Maz and I have talked about this since December 1st hit, and now Festivus is today. Tomorrow is the annual for my family is like pajamas and movie night. We get together, me and my sister, the family, Ryan, we all get together and hang out with the other siblings, Berkeley and Bailey. And, me and Ryan matching pajamas. Everybody has pajamas, and we're just going to sit up and just watch some TV, just watch the movies, The Grinch, whatever.
Are you an open
jokes.
presents Christmas Eve or open presents Christmas Day kind of person?
So, funny thing, when I was younger, our family tradition was all the kids and all the family would come over the night before to my house, and the kids, we would go to sleep around. They would put us to sleep around 9:30, 10. We'd go upstairs and just crack jokes and eventually fall asleep about midnight. And then all the family would come wake us up around 12:30, 12:45 after they were nice and sauced, if you will. And we would just open presents that night. So everybody would bring their presents over that they want to open and then keep some at home. Luckily, I lived there. It was always at our house.
Right.
So I would open up all my presents probably around 12:30, 12:45 in the morning. And I love doing it that way. Now it's Christmas Day. Now it's no presents. Who's getting presents now?
It ain't the same anymore, man.
Nah.
Once the
kids grow up,
it's just not the same. But back when in my Jersey days, we would have Secret Santa. My sisters, my brother-in-laws, and me. That would be the one gift that we would be able to open up on Christmas Eve. Everything else was Christmas morning, man. You got to wait till Christmas morning. But wrapping is the worst part of Christmas for me. I despise wrapping. Absolutely despise. But I do it this year, thank God. My wife was off. She's works for Utica School District, and they gave them the week off prior to Christmas for the first time, all because of all this school stuff and all this pressure and all that. So they gave them off, and I lucked out. She basically wrapped everything. So I got a few things to wrap still, and I've been shopping every night after leaving here, just trying to get last-minute stuff and going to the malls, trying to get in the Christmas spirit as best as I can. I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Christmas Eve, I always open pajamas from my mom. She gets me pajamas, Christmas-style pajamas.
Your mom's the best.
Every year. Yeah, she
I got
is.
a chance to meet your mom, by the way.
She's amazing. I love my mom. Hi, Mom, if you're
Great
watching.
cake, by the way, for your birthday.
Oh, yeah, cannoli cake, baby.
Cannoli cake. It's like my wedding cake.
But, yeah, we open up one thing, and that's pajamas. Then we sleep in those pajamas, then wake up the next morning and open
in those pajamas.
In those pajamas.
There you go.
Footy pajamas?
I got footy. Dude, the fact that I'm 40 years old and this has been going on my whole life, I have pajamas upon pajamas upon pajamas. It's absolutely insane. But, yeah, I love Christmas Eve. I love Christmas Day. It's just a good time to relax and reflect.
Christmas movie?
Christmas movie? I like all of them.
You're on the spot. You're on the spot.
No, I got to make a horrible confession. I've been watching these Lifetime crappy Christmas movies this whole month, and I like them.
That's great.
And I like them. But, Die Hard's a great. Bad Santa's my favorite, though.
Okay.
Bad Santa's by far my favorite Christmas movie.
Maz, tell the people you and I's favorite Christmas movie since we share
It's
one.
a slam dunk. It's Christmas Vacation.
It's
Man.
not even close,
Chevy
buddy.
Chase and
National
the gang.
Lampoons, man.
Phenomenal,
Oh,
man. I
man.
didn't know Little Rusty was Johnny Galecki.
Yeah.
Who came into the Big Bang Theory.
Russ!
That's Russ.
That's Russ.
Russ. But I love Vegas Vacation. That's my favorite vacation movie. But
Vacations is
but
regular
Christmas
ones are good
Vacation
too.
is awesome.
Wally
Beverly
World.
D'Angelo. I used to dig on Beverly D'Angelo.
I still dig
Yeah,
on
I
some
still
Beverly
dig on
D'Angelo.
that.
Like, if I was going after an old woman, it'd be
It'd be her
probably-
and Susan Sarandon for me.
Before you two guys creep everybody out, we're going to have to get to a break. And we're back. Maybe we keep the conversation going, Christmas stuff. And if not, we also have Michigan and Georgia coming up. So
And
we
in
can
the
talk about
chat,
that as
too,
well.
to tell us what your favorite Christmas movie
Yeah,
is.
we'll bring them up. Edwards and Stick filling in for Armani. This is Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
I didn't even think about something very fun that I didn't even think about is there's so much talent in the back. Spencer and those guys, and Easy and Leach, and they just have so much fun. I was in the studio last Thursday, and I think I went over to Chikini. Shout out to Chikini, who also came in, donated some toys for stuff for studio.
Thank you so much.
And I went to see my Uncle Ray, hung out. And then I came back to the studio to do some of the reads that we had and was having a good time. And Spence in the back was doing the Bart Scott Can't wait. Word for word, verbatim. And I hadn't heard it in a very long time, and I was a part of that win. That was the New York Jets when I was playing there. We beat the Patriots in the playoffs in the semifinals to go play the Steelers, which we would lose to in the AFC Championship in 2011 playoffs. But don't get me started. Brian, hey, that's Brian Schottenheimer. Don't get me started. But this guy knows the whole exact thing. So we thought it would be creative if we recreated it and put them side by side. So thanks to Justin. You guys take a look and tell me what you think.
To all the non-believers.
How did that?
To all the non-believers, especially you, Tom Jackson. Way to have our back, Keyshawn. Everybody can be beat.
So how did that just feel?
Felt great. Poetic justice. We know we were a much better team than we came up and represented ourselves, and we're pissed off. We was ready to come back and show us kind of a defense, what type of team this was, what kind of character we had. We take a lot of slack. But we barely made the playoffs. We're a good football team.
The team played a lot of anger today, Bart. Why?
For all the non-believers. For all you non-believers. Talk crap about the defense. Disrespect us. We're the third best defense in the league. All we hear is about their defense. That defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. 25th in the league, and we're the ones who get disrespected.
Well, congratulations. See you in Pittsburgh.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Back to you.
Thanks, Al.
Yo, I am crying right now. That is the type of talent level and ignorance that we have on a day-to-day basis. It is so great to be a part of Woodward Sports. Man, that was great.
Yeah, people don't realize, like, the people that like do all the graphics and make this thing happen, post of all our clips, like, we have a lot of young talent that's going to be seen and felt in this city for a long time.
Starting next week.
Yeah, starting next week. But we're
can't wait.
Yeah, we've established we've established our core here and all that, but the young guns that are coming up to Woodward Sports they're the next level, man, because they get it on every level. They're funny, they're smart, they love their sports. So yeah, I love those kids.
But it's good for us though. It's good for guys like myself, Ryan, even you to a certain extent. Maz definitely is good for you to keep us young. Like, it keeps us kind of like.
What are you saying?
Especially for you, Maz.
No, what I was saying is,
I'm the elder statesman here.
I was making a statement about you being the elder statesman.
Yes, okay.
No, but it just keeps you young and it keeps you like up to date on what ideas and things that you can do. Like adding that, like it really looked like they were in Foxborough.
Right.
It looked like they were at Gillette Stadium. Obviously they weren't, but it just keeps you abreast of TikTok and all the kind of things that you can add to what we do and have fun with it.
And another thing I love about our young guys here is they know the old stuff. Like they're all getting into Seinfeld because of Maz, which is hilarious.
That was 10 years ago.
Right.
That soundbite. That's not new.
Yeah, and Spencer's like, what is he, like 23, 24? So he was like 14 when that happened.
He's hilarious, that guy, man.
Dude, he's an absolute unit too. Have you seen that guy drink beer?
Yeah,
I'm so glad we got him here.
Probably working at Chicken Shack back then too. You know, he worked at Chicken Shack for like 8 years, man. I love it. But where are we at right now in the broadcast? What we got?
Anywhere you want to be.
Yeah, well, some people are dropping their favorite movies in the chat.
Let's go back to that then.
Yeah, which is awesome.
What do we have?
Gremlins, which isn't really.
The first Gremlins.
That is a Christmas.
The first Gremlins did. It was Christmas season when the first one took place.
That's why you got the Mogwai to begin with.
I got one for you that no one will put up here. I'm a Nick Cage guy. And I like Tia Leone.
Las Vegas.
Family Man.
I love Tia Leone.
Family Man is phenomenal. Don Cheadle is great
Cheadle was in
that movie. If you guys want to see a movie and it's really a heartwarming movie, check out Family Man.
Scrooged. How about Scrooge?
That was good. Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Bill Murray.
There you go, Bill Murray.
That's a slept-on one, too.
Yeah.
Very slept on.
Yeah.
I think I watched it last time. I watched it last year for the first time in a very long time, and it holds up, as they say. Bobcat Goldthwait. It was hilarious in that movie.
Hey, Die Hard is awesome. You know, so is Home Alone. I mean, they're awesome.
1 and 2.
Yeah,
Which one's your favorite?
The Die Hard debate's settled, right? Like it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, it definitely.
Okay,
is.
We don't have to have that.
It
debate.
is a Christmas movie.
Home Alone 1 is better than 2. I like 1 over 2.
I love 1 and 2. I just love when you go back and watch Home Alone at 38 years old and you're watching like this movie could have been over in 2 minutes. Like, where's the grandma at? Like, where's the uncle that stayed home? Where's the family members around there? I mean, they could have solved that. It was, but
yeah. If it was shot today, Kevin has a cell phone and it's solved.
Oh God,
like,
yeah.
That's it. It's over. It couldn't happen today.
Exactly. All they need to do was call Liam Neeson and go send Liam Neeson to find him. They would have got him.
I have a very specific skill set. Just to find your kid.
Speaking of Liam Neeson, now get us to a commercial. This actually will get us to a commercial almost. I'm at the Lions game. And I'm in the suite, and I'm talking to the people that I knew in the suite, and they introduced me to a family. It was a guy, his son, and his wife. And the guy introduced, he has a Michigan on, so I know he wants to talk. I'm taking pictures. His son has a Lions helmet on.
Nice.
He would have loved it, man. His son had the Lions helmet on, like the ones that he used to sell at the Silverdome.
Oh.
And I asked the son his name. I said, hey, what's your name? And, you know, he's saying, I thought he said Neil. I said, so what's your name? He said, Liam. You ever tell a joke that's so good, but it goes over everyone's head, and you're just like,
all of mine.
Nobody can. All my life. I get your jokes. We get them sometimes. But I legitimately, as he said, Liam, I was waiting for the father to get the joke. I was like, do you have a particular set of skills? and the dad didn't say anything, and the mom didn't budge. I was like, nobody heard.
At least you shot your shot, though, man. That's a good one.
Good call, man.
Maz, you know Drew and Mike, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
You're on their podcast, and I grew up a big Drew and Mike listener. And you know how you remember stupid things that really stick out that, you know, Liam Neeson, they were doing the largest package in Hollywood list, and Liam Neeson was #1 on that list. So anytime anybody says Liam Neeson, that's all I think of is Drew talking about Liam Neeson's junk.
I thought, what's his name would be #1? Well, musically. You know who #1 is in music, right?
Who?
Huey Lewis.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Huey Lewis.
I did not know that.
What are we talking about right now?
This is what happens when you bring up Liam Neeson. My mind goes sideways. Thank you, Drew and Mike.
I tuned out. I'm over here like.
We'll explain to you on the break.
No, you need to explain it. I think I got it.
By the way, Miracle on 34th Street.
Classic.
My very favorite
Santa Claus.
movie. My very favorite movie.
Just Friends. Does anybody watch Just Friends?
Of course.
That's one of my favorite. Like I'm a rom-com guy for some reason. That's like the weakest thing about me. But I love like Just Friends, Elf. I love all those movies.
Oh, that's my sister's favorite. Elf. Oh, man.
Buddy the Elf. What's your favorite color?
I got her a Buddy the Elf. I was at CVS picking up something the other day, and they had like a doll for $10, and it was actually the Will Ferrell Buddy the Elf. I was like, she's gonna love this. I went and grabbed it and brought it home. She's ecstatic, pulling the string. He's saying all like the favorite lines. So Elf is definitely another good one.
Yeah, Christmas Story. I have that leg lamp at my house. Yeah, my dad got me the leg lamp from a truck stop one day, so I have the leg lamp at my house. But yeah, no, it's just tomorrow. Probably put on all those movies.
Yeah, tomorrow's the day. I mean, I try to start early, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes you go home and you go to sleep. You know, you're tired, you beat. But tomorrow is the day, man. That Christmas Eve day, you get the energy all day long. You're laying on the couch watching movies all day long, eating. And
I get sad too, to be honest with you. I'm one of those
because
that get
it's like
sad
the holidays over,
the build up.
Yeah, because it's over. I mean, we got January and February. I mean, Ryan Armani's a January birthday. Me and Braylon are February birthdays.
February 18th.
I mean, 22nd. And you get into those dog days, man. 21st. The dog's 21st, my bad. The dog days of winter starting to hit. So I guess let's enjoy it, I guess.
We're past the winter solstice, though, so at least the days are getting longer now.
I know, but we're at the start of winter.
Yeah, kind of. Well, there's going to be some new quarterbacks in the NFL coming up in the next season. Obviously, we're not through this season just yet. So we're going to see who's going to get a new job in next year or maybe before Christmas. We'll find out, and we'll talk about that next right here on The Bottom Line on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for the one, the only Ryan Armani. That is Braylon Edwards. This is The Bottom Line. We'll be right back.
There's going to be a lot of people getting their foot in the butt.
I'm Kay Cunningham. Working with Hall Financial to purchase my first home was easier than I could have ever imagined. They treated me like family from start to finish. Find out for yourself at callhallfirst.com.
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets daily on Woodward Sports.
'Tis the season to drink Gypsy vodka. It is that time of year. It is Festivus, Maz. It's Festivus, baby.
Open it up.
It's Festivus.
Crack it open.
Looks like somebody already opened it up before the show started. It was not me.
That bottle just keeps going down and down and down a little bit every day.
It keeps going down, down, and down. Gypsy vodka, I'm telling you like this, man. I keep saying it every day, and you guys will believe me. Michigan, this is the new premium vodka in Michigan. It is gluten-free. It is corn distilled 6 times with artesian spring water. Man, this stuff tastes good, and it's about the best tasting for you, health-wise as well. Vodka you can get on the market. Adam and Mike, 50 different formulas went into getting this right. That means they tried this 49 times and said, you know what, still isn't right. And they waited to the magic number 50, and they got it right. Shout out to you guys. Go into your neighborhood liquor stores and ask for Gypsy Vodka. And guess what? If you're going to drink, please drink responsibly.
Welcome back to The Bottom Line on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you to everybody listening on the Roar right now, 99.1, 93.5, and 94.7 HD. And everybody that's downloaded our app, which is free, so you can take Woodward Sports with you anywhere that you go. Thank you guys for being a part of the show. So last year, 16 teams had a new starting quarterback in the NFL. And Maz put together kind of a list here about teams that could potentially have a new starting quarterback coming up this year, and kind of want to run through these rather quickly because there is a lot of them. But let's start out with the Ravens. And when I saw this on the list, I was like, no way are they going to go after
Braylon's got a good take on this.
Well, that's why I'm here, to hear Braylon's take on this. What do you think about the Ravens? Do you think they're going to move off Lamar Jackson?
Are they going to pay him? That's the question.
It wasn't that exactly. It wasn't more so are they going to move off of him. It's one of those things where they've waited to pay him. Like guys in his draft, like Deshaun Watson, and as well as Mahomes, they got their money, they got paid. He didn't. He has not gotten paid yet. It seems like they're waiting for the playoff win. They're waiting for the signature win. They're waiting for when he strings along 10 games in a row where he doesn't throw an interception or he doesn't have a play that leads to a potential loss or a loss. You look at this season, man, it's 4 interceptions, 2 interceptions, 2 interceptions, 1 interception, injury. Then you insert Huntley. And you watch what Huntley's able to do. Huntley doesn't look bad. He actually wins 2 games. He loses one where it was on a 2-point conversion. They could have went to overtime.
Right.
And they could have won the game on overtime. So it's more devil's advocate where you're saying if this guy can't necessarily win you the big game, can't not throw interceptions, and can't, play clean football, do you want to pay him or do you want to try Huntley's direction so you consistently don't have to pay a quarterback?
I'm just trying to think, if they don't pay him, where does he go? Because you have to completely rebuild your offense around Lamar Jackson. You can't just fit him into a traditional offense.
It's the same as Huntley. Huntley will run his offense.
Right.
You don't got to change.
Huntley's running his offense now.
Where would if Lamar Jackson leaves, what team is going to completely adjust their offense?
A smart team.
Yeah?
He's an MVP.
Washington, maybe?
Why not?
That'd be an interesting landing spot for him.
How about the Lions?
With our offensive line, that would be scary.
How about the freaking Lions?
My God. Why? Ooh, man, don't do that to me.
See, now you see why I threw it out there.
Right.
Now listen, take it further. What if the Lions asked for him and the Ravens said, okay, we'll take your 2 number 1s for it?
No.
But we'll take the Ravens number 1 and Lamar Jackson.
Oof. No, I'm not doing that.
You're not?
I'm not doing that.
You don't want Lamar Jackson as your quarterback?
I do want Lamar Jackson as my quarterback. I don't want to mortgage my entire
Why
future
not? You're
for
looking
it.
for a quarterback.
Yeah, but I'm looking for also an entire team outside the quarterback, too. That's the thing. We're still dilapidated on defense.
Just putting it out there. That's a guy that could be available to a smart team. Now, we've been talking about drafting a quarterback because you get a rookie contract for 5 years.
Right.
He's not going to be on a rookie contract. You have to pay the man to keep him.
Right.
That's the only difference. So it's got to be a team that's got money, no money issues, and a team that's willing to take a chance, like the Baltimore Ravens did. They just tore it all up and said, we're building around this kid.
Yeah, I thought that was great coaching by them because that's what you do. The great coaches build around their best players and put them in positions to win.
How many times have we got rid of players because they didn't fit our defense?
Right. Well,
I mean, how many
ask
Patriots?
about Kyle Van Noy and how he did once he left.
There's 3 guys that played here that are playing in New England and starting on that defense.
Yeah. And you can go a step further with Kyle Van Noy. Kyle Van Noy got there, left there, and went back there.
Right.
Because they, as well as he, realized, oh, hell no. Like, we need you.
This is my system. This is where I fit.
This is where I fit in.
Get in where you fit in.
And the people on the chat are, going crazy because I'm not paying attention. We're not. No, I'm sorry. I just don't have my laptop on. I'm talking. It's a hypothetical. We're not saying that they're going to get rid of Lamar Jackson. But let's throw something else on him before we go to the rest of the list. they're playing without so many players this year.
Yes.
And they're still in games, and they're still in the playoffs, and they're still right there for
That's
winning
why I love
games.
John Harbaugh.
Just imagine they have Marcus Peters at cornerback. Just imagine they have their starting running back, J.K. Dobbins from Ohio State, or the backup running back for that matter, or any of their linemen. For that matter, our linemen have been out, linebackers have been out, and they're still right there at 9-5 or 8-6 or whatever they are right now.
Think if they didn't let Matthew Judon go.
So exactly. So now think about Huntley with the same team but completely healthy.
Wow. Would you take a Huntley?
I'd take a flyer on Huntley.
Would you take a Mike White? We like Mike White with the Jets, threw for 400 yards.
Mike White looked good. I mean, then we're
There's
getting
gonna
into
be
some of
guys
these other
like that
teams
out there.
What else we got on that list?
Yeah, the Browns. Baker Mayfield, is he done in Cleveland?
He's out.
He's out?
He's out.
You believe that?
They got two guys that back him up that play just like he played. When you watch the game from Baker Mayfield to Case Keenum,
right,
to Mullins, actually, I would dare say that Case Keenum was better.
Huh?
And you're because he's due to get paid. I'm not paying Baker Mayfield after what he's done.
That's right.
Everything has to be perfect for him, and it hasn't been perfect, and he's struggled. I know he's banged up. At least that's what they say. I know he's been injured this year.
He's banged up, man.
He's banged up.
So's everybody in the NFL, though.
I
So
just
there's
don't
never
think
an
he's the
excuse.
guy. Like when I look at Baker Mayfield, when I watch him play, never ever through any game that he plays am I like, that guy's gonna win them the Super Bowl, or that guy is the guy. That guy is the man. I have never said that one time since he's been in the NFL.
Yeah, to me, Baker Mayfield is a poor man's Gardner Minshew. I love Gardner Minshew. That's my guy right there.
God, that's a
all
good one.
right, Steelers. We know Big Ben is retiring, so they're going to have a new quarterback. Are they looking for one in the draft? Or that may be an interesting spot for Lamar Jackson. I could see him in a Steelers uniform.
They're going to get Aaron Rodgers if he leaves Green Bay. He's going to be in Pittsburgh. That's where he's going. If he leaves Green Bay, he's going to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the situation with Aaron Rodgers, it's just such an interesting one because you just look at it at every turn he has been given. He has taken a chance to create some controversy as it related to staying, coming back, leaving, whatever, happy. Does he love it there? It's always something. And I just don't see him staying another year. But we didn't think he was coming back this year, and here he is on the precipice of going to the Super Bowl and winning another MVP. So I could see it either way.
The guy's amazing. He really is amazing.
He's the best in the biz.
Let's move on to the Texans. Now, I think they found some gold in Davis Mills.
You do?
I really do. I like the way that kid plays ball. I mean, he was a late-round pick. They were
So
able
you don't
to.
think they'll draft a QB?
It depends on what they do with Watson, too, because remember, Watson's still on their roster.
Yeah,
Like,
it is.
They got to get some equity for him eventually, right?
Yeah, I agree. With Davis Mills, let's say they did get equity for him. I like him, to your point. I like him as a backup quarterback for them. Someone that you know can get it done. Like, that's the key in having a backup. Charlie Batch, former Detroit Lion, former Eastern
EMU,
Michigan
baby.
Eagle. There you go, Eastern Michigan Eagle. He was the backup quarterback in Pittsburgh for years. You know why? Because they trusted him. They trusted him as a backup. They trusted him to read the plays. They trusted him to help the other young talent. But when he got in the game, Charlie could find the right receivers. It's not hard when you're playing in a system like that. So to your point, Davis Mills has earned that kind of respect.
Yeah, as a rookie, I think he's performed, all the quarterbacks that came out, he's in the top 4, top 3.
I can't wait to see what happens with with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
It'll be interesting once that finally plays out and the landing spot and how they're going to receive him.
I still think he goes to the Dolphins.
Here you go, man.
I still think he goes.
Raiders.
Oh, the Raiders and Derek Carr. Now
he's out.
He says he wants to be a Raider forever.
But
do they want him?
And that's exactly what I was going to say. Those are those situations where it's not the quarterback or the player that wants to go. It's the franchise looking to try to capitalize on some of that money, the money that they're paying him. Maybe see if they can get some draft picks as well as some talent as well. I think they move on for him, but in my opinion, would be dumb because I just like Derek Carr. Something about Derek. It's something about Derek
He's
Carr.
a leader, man.
He is a great
He's a
leader.
leader.
Yes.
Like through all the
He's a
turmoil that
humble leader.
team's been through.
He's just been on the wrong team.
His teammate literally kills somebody and he backs them up while everybody else is trashing them. And yes, what Ruggs did was completely unacceptable, but at least he had somebody in his life that he knew was there for him. And
Right.
Everybody makes mistakes, not stupid ass drunk driving where you're going to kill someone mistakes. We can all agree on that. But to me that showed, and then when John Gruden thing happened.
What a
he
disaster.
stepped up.
Said he needed a hug.
He needed a hug.
Somebody needed to support him with some love.
They're 7-7. I give them credit.
Oh, I know. Look at how much they've gone through, and they're 7-7. We really haven't gone through that type of thing here in Detroit, and we're struggling to get 3 wins.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think he stays put for the Raiders.
I got a good guy leaving one team, going to the next team.
What do you got?
And you can't tell me this wouldn't instantly turn this team from a competitor inconsistently to a Super Bowl contender. You take number 3 off the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, yeah.
He gone.
And you insert him into Who They Nation.
The Saints?
Russell Wilson.
That would be dangerous.
With the Saints. Because guess who's coming back next year?
Michael Thomas.
You got Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas will want to play with Russell. You got Alvin Kamara and Russell in the same backfield. Because their defense has been keeping them in it for the last 3 years.
They're in trouble still.
Their defense is still really good, led by DeMario Davis and Cameron Jordan. Jesus Christ. I've been watching him more and more as the season goes on. But anyway, Russell Wilson on that team, instant Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, you forget that Russ is going to be out there this year. And he's
then
a game
if Russ
changer.
goes there, then you got Jameis Winston going somewhere.
Yeah, to be a backup, right?
Maybe not.
Coming off ACL
Eating them
injury.
W's.
Ryan loves him.
But he's coming
Ramadi
off an
loves him.
ACL.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you love Jameis Winston?
He loves
We'll talk
Jameis.
about that when he's in. I don't want to get too much into his opinion. New York Giants. I don't think they should be on this list. I think they signed Daniel Jones to his 5th year and keep him.
Well,
You don't like DJ?
I like him. I think he's talented. I think they're a complete mess.
Yeah, but not because of their quarterback.
Well, you don't know. The people in New York don't know. They wanted to see him finish out the year, and he's out for the year now. And they got Mike Glennon as their quarterback right now.
I think
I think Glennon's one of the best backup quarterbacks in the NFL, and he's going to always have a job.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
It's easy to be a backup quarterback until you get in the game and you suck everywhere you go.
He's not bad.
Everywhere he goes, he loses. When he gets in the game, like
he was bad
if
at
you
Tampa.
lost more games than you win, then it's something it says about you.
Okay.
Oh, you just keep getting
But
jobs.
wait, let's use the old Stafford argument. Wins and losses aren't quarterback stats.
Yeah.
Bull stuff.
Yeah, see? Thank you, Braylon. Thank you, Braylon.
Bull stuff. Wins and losses are quarterback stuff.
Eagles, are they moving off of Jalen Hurts?
Here's the thing I think about that. If they treat Jalen Hurts to his strengths and what he is, here's a quarterback that if you surround him with the run first, like Miles Sanders has been back and been playing well since he's been back because he's been out a little bit all season. Talking about Miles Sanders from Penn State University. He's played well. Last game, I think he had 60 or so yards. When you play through the run to Jalen Hurts, they play well and they play extremely well. But when you play through the pass through Jalen Hurts and you got him throwing the ball down the field 40 times a game, 50 times a game, that's never been who Jalen Hurts is. That's why he couldn't get it done in the national championship game, man. He got benched at halftime. If you use the run to set Jalen Hurts up in the play action pass, he's their quarterback. And there's no quarterbacks in the draft. But if you're going to try to turn him, or if you want to run a system with just a premier quarterback, a premier drop back, a premier down the field passer, then let Jalen Hurts move on because he's not your guy.
Right. Well, perfectly said, man. And if you're looking to make a bet,
I got excited about that.
Yeah, it was a good topic, man. We could still go on because there's still Lions, Saints, Falcons, Panthers, 49ers, and Seahawks. But we'll get into that at another time because we got Beer Man coming up next.
Can't wait.
And maybe he could give us some of the odds on where these people are going to and who he would be betting on because, I'm going to listen to Beer Man.
This game is going to be tough today. I think this is the game where I'm finally going to shut up and listen to the pro that does it because I'm confused on this one.
All right, from Woodward Bets, we're going to have Beer Man on next right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for the Mr. Ryan Ermani. That is Braylon Edwards, and we'll be right back.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
You want commercials? The other guys have those. You want great sports takes?
Touchdown! What a play!
Woodward Sports has those. Detroit's new sports outlet. The Woodward Sports Network.
Welcome back to The Bottom Line, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you guys for being a part of the YouTube chat, on Twitch as well, and of course Twitter. And make sure you listen to our downloads. We put all these audio up afterwards on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Music, so you can download it and take it with you anywhere that you go. So, Beer Man, is he on the line? We ready to rock?
He's here, man.
Let's get into this. Let's pick some games. Let's have some fun.
What's up, Beer?
What's up, guys? First of all, happy holidays, Merry Christmas to all you guys, your families, everybody out there listening on the network. Always a fun time of the year. Lots of sports going on as well, so excited to be here, guys.
Same to you, man. Really appreciate that. Really
and don't forget
appreciate
Woodward
that.
Bets daily here
It
on
is.
Woodward Sports. So there it is right at the bottom of your screen. Perfect timing for that bottom bar to show up. 6 to 7. Yeah, Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday, 9 a.m. till 10 a.m.
Hey, Scotty G brought us in some treats today, man. He brought us in some homemade chocolate chip cookies and some Rice Krispie
Were they
treats.
regular cookies?
They were regular cookies.
Yeah,
big
you
and
gotta
thick.
watch some Scotty G
Hey, you
cookies.
get-
Braylon knows.
Hey,
You gotta
see
be
how
careful with
Now
those.
that you- Now that you say that, I am feeling a little off after having a couple.
You feeling flying lion, man? Ooh.
There you go. There you go.
Beer.
Man's
Usually-
flying lion faces is high face too.
Usually when you come on here, Beer, I am quiet. You and I we talk about what's going to happen in the game. I let Ryan and I let Maz ask you about the Lions. But today, I have my notes. I came prepared. I'm ready today. First one out the gate, Thursday Night Football. Ooh, it's a tough one. You got the 49ers, 5-1 in their last 6 games. You got the Tennessee Titans, they're 3-3, inconsistent as hell, but they're at home. And they're +3 dogs at home, if I'm correct. Tell me something.
Yeah. This one's tough. It's definitely not.
Oh, that's not what I wanted.
I'm going to get you a pick. Don't worry. Okay. This one is certainly one of the tougher games we've had, though. I mean, San Francisco, like you mentioned, on a roll. Tennessee has really been up and down. At times, they've looked like one of the better teams in the AFC. At times, they look like they don't even belong in the playoff race. But I do think the return of A.J. Brown, it can't be understated here tonight for this team. Obviously, they're big cog after losing Derrick Henry. So with him back out there, even if it's as a decoy, with Julio Jones back out there, I feel good about this Tennessee offense, who hasn't been able to put many points on the board here recently. But when you look at these two teams, I'm going to stay away from this spread. I don't want the spread. I want the total. When you just break it down to the numbers, allowing 44.5 points per game combined, that's where our total sits at. They score over 50 points combined as to offenses. San Francisco's been on a roll putting points on the board. I think we're going to see more points out of this Tennessee offense with A.J. Green back. I know we normally like the unders on Thursday night, guys, but I am going over 44.5 on this total tonight.
Look at last week, Beer. It took long, but the over finally hit at the end. And, of course, the Chargers just ran out of gas, and the Buccaneers took care of business. Do you think Julio Jones does anything tonight?
Yeah, I think he'll be all right. I wouldn't go out of my way if you're playing DFS, things like that. I would mix him in, but I really like this A.J. Brown play. Some value on the San Francisco side with a guy like Jeff Wilson. I know Deebo Samuel's been all-world everything. They're using him as a running back, but I think Jeff Wilson's performance last week was something they can bank on. He's pretty cheap if you're playing on a DraftKings. So I like Julio. Jeff Wilson, the guy I'm pinning my hopes on tonight if you're playing fantasy for this game.
Beer Man, Christmas looks like an intriguing game and spread. What is going on with that? Talking about the Indianapolis Colts at the Arizona Cardinals, coming off 2 losses right now. The Cardinals are -1. What do you think about that, big guy?
Yeah, this one's tough. I mean, Arizona obviously licking their wounds after coming here and getting beat down by the Lions. I mean, that was quite a performance by the local team. But I think this is a story of two teams kind of trending in the opposite directions. We're seeing the Colts playing very well with a lot of confidence. Arizona kind of struggling a little bit. We don't know if James Conner is going to be back in that lineup. We know they're going to be without DeAndre Hopkins here. I think the Colts and this offensive line, Jonathan Taylor has entered the MVP conversation. I mean, all he does, Braylon, is score touchdowns. I think they're going to continue to do that and establish their dominance in the trenches. I think the Colts go in and win this game. So if I can get them on a decent money line price, I'm doing that. Or if I get the point and a half, wherever it ends up, I like the Colts to continue this slide here for the Cardinals. Those wounds the Lions put on them, are going to remain with them for quite a few weeks, I think.
If we can run on them, I think the Colts can run on them.
Oh, my God.
Exactly.
Man.
Not a question about it. There's a great doubleheader on Christmas. You got the Packers, who already clinched the North, against the team that's on its last legs here.
King
The
of the
last
North.
place Cleveland Browns in the AFC North. Who do you like in this game? Number 7, I think, right now. 7.5, the Pack.
I'm going with Green Bay here. They've been very good, both record-wise and against the spread. I mean, we're talking about a team that basically covers every single week. Cleveland, meanwhile, has not been good. Baker Mayfield's been a mess, and now you got to go on the road to Lambeau on Christmas Day. I mean, they're only 3-7 against the spread over their last 10 here, Maz. So I think the struggles continue here. I know they're getting healthy, getting Jarvis Landry back, but a tough spot to play. Green Bay knows what's at stake here, the number 1 seed in the NFC, which is a bye week, everything running through Lambeau Field. I think the Packers handle their business here, win by double digits, so I don't mind laying that 7, 7.5, even up to 8 if that's where it ends up.
So
I agree.
I find myself rooting against the Rams because I want that draft pick for the Lions to be much higher. But
they're hot.
the Vikings play everybody so close, and the spread on this is only 3 in favor of the Rams. Do you think the Vikings are going to be able to hang with the Rams like that?
Yes.
Yes.
This one's tricky. I mean,
Yeah.
no Dalvin Cook. We got that news today, and Alexander Madison's been very good, but he is not Dalvin Cook. So I think that loss is really going to hurt this team. Kirk Cousins, you always are hesitant about feeling good about him. So rather than trying to decide on that spread stick, I actually like the over. I do think both teams are going to be able to score some points in this one. This Rams offense is starting to get it going and took a little bit of a step back in that game against Seattle, but I think we're going to see scoring here. So it's one of the higher totals on the board, but I like the over in this one this week.
I'm going to jump into college real quick just so we get these 2 games out the way before, if we run out of time a little bit. Got to get the 2 games out the way that matter. That is the college football playoff. Let's start with Bama and Cincy. 13.5. What do you think about the spread on that one? Minus 13.5 is Bama. Cincinnati, a lot of people think shouldn't be there. Is it 13.5 too much?
I don't think it's enough, Braylon. I think
Yes,
Cincinnati.
I agree.
It's been a nice story. They're undefeated, but who have they beat? I mean,
It's cute. I love Beer Man.
A nice win against Notre Dame, a decent Houston team you beat in your conference championship, but the rest of the slate, I mean, the rest of your schedule is a bunch of nobodies here. Now you're going against an absolute powerhouse. So
who just beat Georgia, by the way.
Right. If I get this line under 2 touchdowns, I know it's a big number. I think that's going to drive a lot of the public towards Cincinnati. They are outmatched big time in this one. I think Alabama rolls.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
This is why Cincinnati should not have made the college football playoffs.
This is why they need 2 national championships. They need one for the Group of 5, and then they need one for the Power 5 because this is the conversation. It's the minor league versus the major league. I know that sounds terrible to say, but it is what it is.
Right.
That's why they play the games.
Right. That's why they play the game. But I'm telling you, you saw the offensive line. And Evan Neal, who's going to be a top 3 pick, what is he going to do to that little undersized defensive line in Cincinnati? What are they going to do with the best quarterback in the country in Bryce Young? And they have 3 wide receivers that rival Ohio State. Notice I said rival. John Mechie and Jamison Williams leaving that charge. It's going to get ugly.
Yes, it is. I agree.
Well, the second one, it's on the table. You know the teams. One is U of M and one is Georgia. Spread 7.5 in Georgia's favor right now. What do you think about this? Is it going to drop? Talking about that spread as we get closer to game time, Beer Man.
I do think we end up at around a touchdown on this one. So I think that the wise play is if you're on Michigan, I would grab it now while you get a little bit of a bonus. And we talked about this game a couple weeks ago when these matchups were set. I liked Michigan then. My tune has not changed. I'm still backing the Wolverines in this one. I think this is going to be a game 1 in the trenches. It's going to be ugly. That total indicates it's going to be ugly. These are 2 teams that can play very well on the defensive side of the ball. I think Michigan can do enough offensively to hang in this game. Now, I don't know if they win, Braylon. Don't hate me for that. I know it's your squad.
It's okay.
But I do think if anything, I mean, I'm rooting for them to win. If anything, I do think they can be competitive. So as far as a bet goes, I like grabbing Michigan in the points, and I don't hate the money line play. I think they have a very much a live shot at winning this game. I think Georgia ultimately ends up winning, but I think we see a very, very close game here.
How about the Lions and the Falcons? This is the one game the one team the Lions have a winning record against. They only beaten 6 teams in the NFL. It's the only time they've had a winning record, and they got one against the Falcons. The number's 4.5. I think it's up to 5 right now. If TB12 plays, not Tom Brady, but if Tim Boyle plays, that
Terry Bradshaw, right?
That spread should be 10 probably. Am I not right? If Boyle plays, the Lions can't win. Can they?
I would feel worse about it if it's Boyle for sure. Let's pretend it's Goff, and I do think what we saw last week is going to spring them forward. We saw a very competitive team, a very spirited effort on both sides of the ball. I think they're going to finish the season strong here. You know, the message that Dan Campbell is sending, these guys are buying into it. A lot of these guys are fighting for their lives. Craig Reynolds has been a fantastic story, kind of off the scrap heap here. So if it's Goff, I like the points here, Maz. Detroit's been very good against the number. Atlanta been not very good and have only won 1 game at home. I like the Lions to cover. If it's Boyle, I'm likely leaving this game alone.
One more for you, Chris Prince. The man, Beer Man, you got Bills at Patriots. 3 weeks ago, I think Mac Jones passed for 3 passes. He was 2 of 3, and they still got the win. This time they want to do more than
Brilliant coaching.
Hey, it is.
Are we betting the under again?
I don't think so. -2.5. Actually, let's ask Beer Man. What do you think, Beer Man?
I think looking at this line, the public will be all over New England under a field goal at home. Looking back to that game, Bill Belichick, I am on the Buffalo Bills in this game. Their backs are against the wall. They have just as good a coaching on that side. I mean, it's not Bill Belichick, but they're pretty damn close. Some great playmakers on that team. Buffalo knows what's at stake here. They lose this game, throw the division out the window. You may throw your playoff hopes out the window. I think you see them respond in a big way. Not only 2.5, I think they win this game. So, again, I feel good about a money line play, but I really like Buffalo this week in this game.
Do I keep Josh Allen in as my quarterback this week?
Of course.
That one's dicey, man. So
Yeah.
see if you got any other options.
I got the Cowboys quarterback, the guy that can't do anything anymore, Dak Prescott.
Yeah. That's not a bad. I'd stick with Josh Allen out of those two.
Yeah, get those rushing yards, baby. That's it.
So you're telling me to bench Josh Allen?
No.
Stick with Josh Allen.
Here,
Dak's got to hit the bench.
Before we let you go, and it's just crazy that early on in the year, Josh Allen was the preseason favorite to win MVP and even when they were struggling, they still fought for him to be MVP up until about week 12. Dak was the favorite to win the MVP after about week 6, and now we're arguing over which one of these guys is the
worse.
in a bad way. Man, you gotta love football.
I thought I had it cornered, man. I am screwed.
You gotta love it.
It's a long season, and it got even longer this year, so a little more unpredictability. Well, thank you, Beer Man. Everybody wants to check out Woodward Bets. It is on Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. And then on the weekends, they hop on at 9 a.m. just to kind of, nudge you a little bit, get you in the right direction. And thank you guys for all that you do. Love your records. It's helped me pay for some of my holiday gifts this year. So thank you guys.
There we go. Love to hear it. And we are going to be doing a little Christmas special. So there's games on Christmas. We talked about some of them. We got 5 NBA games as well. So we will be covering all that for you. So we're not taking the day off because of the holidays. Make sure you guys are checking that out on Christmas, and then we'll be back Sunday morning talking NFL. But guys, pleasure as always. Again, happy holidays to each and every one of your families and everybody listening out there.
Thanks, Beer.
Thank you, Beer Man.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Coming up next, we got Maz's viral videos or history videos, or what do we call this, Maz?
They're just my videos.
Just Maz's videos from his archives. We're going to do that next right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for Ryan Ermani. That is Braylon Edwards. This is The Bottom Line.
Boom.
Thank you, Detroit. Because of your generous donations, this year's Stuff a Studio was a massive success. With the help from our friends at Meyer, Guardian Alarm, and people like you, we were able to send a massive U-Haul filled with toys to Mott Children's Hospital.
I thought it was pretty cool, but more importantly, my daughter had surgery at Mott back in about 2005 for brain surgery. They did a miraculous job for her. As a matter of fact, she's graduated from Michigan State on Saturday. You could never
hey, go green, right?
Thank you. And we really want to thank you. I know we're standing in front of this very large building, but when you look up, this building is full right now with a lot of sick kids that are going to be here through the holidays. And this team is amazing to make sure that they can at least smile during the holidays, and what you guys have done for us, we'll make sure that we're bringing that magic into their hospital room. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Absolutely love that. Thank you to everybody who donated for Stuff a Studio. And you know who helped us out a lot during that? These folks right up here at Guardian Alarm. Not only did they sponsor the entire event, but they made sure that they had armored, secured cars taking the toys all the way to Mott Children's Hospital. And that's the type of people that you're dealing with when you're dealing with Guardian Alarm. And with the holidays here, you know, you get a new TV, you put your TV box outside in the trash. Well, now the neighbors know you got a new TV. So you want to keep that TV protected, and there's one way to do it. You just call 1-800-STAY-OUT. One more time, 1-800-STAY-OUT. And people will have to stay out because they know that Guardian Alarm is protecting your brand new TV that you just got for the holidays. So make sure that all your stuff is protected. Make sure your family is safe, and you can even monitor stuff like carbon monoxide right from your home. So call 1-800-STAY-OUT. Do it before the holidays to protect your stuff. 1-800-STAY-OUT. Guardian Alarm, the very best. All right, welcome back. It is the Woodward Sports Network. I can't believe this is the last segment of the day.
Go,
yeah,
man? Where did 5 months go?
I cannot believe you've actually been here 5 months, Braylon. Like, honestly.
I'm telling you, August 12th, man.
Yeah, it's just wild to me how this has all come together, and couldn't be more proud to have this entire show, not including myself, when Ryan's in this seat. Like, you guys have brought an incredible energy. No, you guys have brought an incredible energy, the teamwork, the camaraderie, buying lunch for people, and high-fiving people. Like, I don't think people realize this is Braylon Edwards, but he walks around here like he's just everybody else. And
man, we're all together, man. You're only the sum of your parts, man. And the sum total of your parts, that's how you make a whole. And everybody here works just as hard as I do, so it's just fun to be a part of it. And with that, man, let's turn over to the big guy to cheer for the videos of the day, man.
All right, our videos of the day brought to you by Les Stanford Chevrolet. How about that?
Find new roads.
I'm letting you bring it right now. Find new roads.
Find them.
Let's go. Hey, 49 years ago today, it all started for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's right. The Steelers were nothing 49 years ago till this play.
Last chance for the Steelers. Bradshaw trying to get away. And his pass is broken up by Tatum. Tipped off. Franco Harris has it. And he's over. What? Franco Harris. He grabbed it with 5 seconds to go and scored. Watch this one now. Bradshaw's lucky to even get rid of the ball. He shoots it out. Jack Tatum deflects it right into the hands of Harris. And he sets off, and the big 230-pound rookie slipped away from Ward and scored. When you talk about Christmas miracles,
how does that even happen?
That was an incomplete pass.
The great Kirk Gowdy on the call on NBC. It was amazing. Frenchie Fuqua was the running back he was throwing the ball to. Jack Tatum hits him so hard. The two of them simultaneously hit the football, and Franco is there to pick it up and go the distance. John Madden still to this day, and by the way, all Madden on Christmas Day.
Yep.
Can't wait.
They're going to talk about that play a lot because John Madden to this day thinks the Raiders got robbed.
Yeah, they said it's an incomplete pass, and there's no camera angle that can actually prove that it was a complete pass. That's what's crazy about it. He did catch it, but did it touch the ground?
No, it never touched the ground. It never. No, there's a 2-hour special on it.
Okay.
Go to 30 for 30 on the Immaculate Reception. Or a football line on the Immaculate Reception.
I've watched it.
They proved it. He caught it before they hit the ground.
There's no film that shows that it actually didn't hit the ground, because if you watch back to even what we just played, when it gets hit, it bounces off the screen. You don't see, and then they go to that other view, and it cuts off before the ground. So you can't really tell.
What John Madden is saying is Frenchie Fuqua hit the ball, not Jack Tatum. So if Frenchie hit the ball and Franco picked it up, it should be an incomplete pass. Offense to offense can't happen. But they said that Tatum hit it instead of Frenchie Fuqua. By the way, Frenchie Fuqua, Detroit native, by the way.
Hey, and a great name.
And the Steelers, the next week, played the Dolphins. Dolphins beat them late in the game to remain unbeaten, go to the Super Bowl, and still the only unbeaten team in Super Bowl history. So the Steelers came very close to winning that game and knocking off the Dolphins as well, and the Steelers became the Steelers. They hadn't won a playoff game till that game. the one you just watched 49 years ago.
I think I read something that said that they won Rooney, the family. They won the Steelers franchise in a card game.
Really? That's pretty funny.
Look it up. They won the Steelers. They won the franchise in the card game.
I think I got time for one more, and this is going to be a John Madden. Ray Guy used to be a phenomenal punter.
He's a punter.
The award is named after Ray Guy.
The award's named after
Ray Guy can boom the kicks. Well, he wanted to hit the top of the gondola in the Super Bowl. John Madden said, no, don't do it. But when they had the game sealed, he's like, go ahead, try to hit the top of it. Here's John Madden. You'll see this on Sunday as well.
Ray loved to play games. I mean, he loved to throw the ball, see how far you could throw it, throw a ball through a tire, kick and see if you could hit something. And we're playing in the Pro Bowl. It was in the Superdome, and they had that gondola hanging down there. It's in the third quarter, and he starts to go in, and he says, can I take a shot at the gondola? And I said, no, this is a football game. Don't be shooting at any doggone gondolas. And then I thought, what the heck? It's the Pro Bowl. So he starts running in, so I called him back. And I said, come on back. I said, go ahead, I'll give you one shot. And so boom, he hits it and goes up, and they were so proud of you. No one can ever hit this gondola. It's high. So, anyway, Ray Guy hit the gondola.
Oh, man. Ray Guy, the greatest punter of all time. And I got one more before we leave you. This is the viral video of the day. It's a teacher. Looks like a nursery school or a kindergarten class. And she told the kids, if I sink this full court shot in basketball, you all get hot chocolate. Merry Christmas. This is one for you.
Nothing but the bottom of the cup.
Oh, baby. Hot chocolate for everyone.
Is there anybody more hyped than toddlers when you do something like that?
Isn't that fun?
Oh, it's the best.
God.
That is awesome.
You took me back. I'm like, man.
That's Christmas, by the way.
That is Christmas, man. And with that
Merry
is our
Christmas.
show, man.
Yeah.
That's Merry Christmas. It's been a fun 5 months for us here at the Bottom Line. It's been fun to be a part of Woodward Sports Network, and we're only just beginning. I say this at the end of every show. Be nice to somebody, smile at somebody, get into the spirit. If you don't feel in the spirit, there's somebody that wants you to be in the spirit, and that somebody is me, Maz, Alex, Sam, Stick, Ryan, Armati, Fish. We appreciate you. We love you. Thanks for the support. And guess what? We're only just begun. That's the bottom line.
Make sure you tune in next week for the youngsters.
Yeah, Nick and Easy taking over the bottom line.
Take you to the new year, folks.
I'm going to do some calling in on VMix, so I will be a part of it.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'll definitely call in. Oh, yeah, for sure. You think I'm gonna let them two guys be up here and I don't call in?
You better not.
Oh, I got some stuff to say.
Happy Festivus, everyone.
To all the non-believers.
How did that? To all the non-believers.
Especially you, Tom Jackson.
Way to have our back, Keyshawn.
Anybody can be beat.
So how did that just feel?
Felt great. Poetic justice.
We know we were a much better team than we came up and represented ourselves, and we're pissed off. We was ready to come back and show us kind of defense, what type of team this was, what kind of character we had. We take a lot of slack.
But we barely made the playoffs. We're a good football team.
The team played a lot of anger today, Bart. Why?
For all the non-believers.
For all you non-believers.
Talk crap about the defense.
Disrespect us.
We're the third best defense in the league.
All we hear is about their defense.
That defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. 25th in the league, and we're the ones who get disrespected.
Well, congratulations.
See you in Pittsburgh.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. Back to you.